Welcome to my first live stream in a really, really long time. I have absolutely no idea if this is working. This was very, very difficult to put together. So I'm just going to sit here for a second. I don't know if anyone can hear me. Can you hear me is my first question, because this was really, really difficult. It used to be very, very simple the way that I used to live stream here, and I've spent so long trying to figure out camera connections and whatnot. So I have my laptop down here and camera up there, and I don't know what I'm doing. So if you can hear me, please let me know, because I'm not sure. I just hope the audio is okay. Nobody's said anything yet, so yes. Okay. We've got confirmation that you can hear me, you can see me. I think the camera is working. Fingers crossed it doesn't overheat. I'm using a different camera to what I used to use, and the other one used to overheat sometimes and it would like crash. This one I have like a, I don't know what you call it, a dummy battery where it's plugged into the wall. So unless there's a power outage, we shouldn't have any issues. But yay, everybody's here and I'm so excited. Are we ready to do some vision boarding? I have all of my supplies. I went to CVS again today, and I actually found a 3-pack of these magazines, which I think is similar to these ones that I had. And I like the 3-pack because it's $15 for the 3. And I'm quite sure individually these guys are almost, or at least $10 each on their own. So I'm really glad that I found these. I also found this Washingtonian, I can't say it, magazine that looks like it's got some good stuff in there. And there just happened to be the guy swapping over the magazines while I was there. But he didn't have any new lifestyle ones. So hopefully we can find some stuff in all of these. And I still haven't decided what size I'm going to go for, but I tend to not stick anything down until I have like a bit of a layout. I have to keep remembering to look over here and not down at my computer. I'm sorry. It's been so long since I've done this, so I feel very rusty and a little out of the game. I don't know how long. Oh, wait, no, I just lost one of my cutouts. Hang on. I have to go and get it. I don't know how long we will live stream for, because we'll just see how long this takes. But I figured we could just sit comfy, cozy today and start working on it. Also, I was late. I was like 5 minutes late, and that's because I couldn't figure out the camera situation. Anyway, I thought that I would quickly go over my 2022 vision board, which I really enjoyed doing this one. I was sick when I did this one, and I sat on my living room floor in Toronto for like a week and a half, and it was really, really fun. But this is large. I do have the same size canvas. I'm not sure if I'm going to go this big again. It depends on how much I can cut out. Also, I was waiting on some black ink for my printer to be able to print pictures, but the delivery has been delayed and I have no idea where it is and whether it's going to show up or not. So this is the 2022 one. And I have like different sections, which is the way that I like to do it. So I guess down here I have like reading, and then fitness, relationships. Up here was just a whole bunch of like words, I guess like positive affirmations, home things, and then travel up here. And I really, really liked this vision board. This is probably one of my favorite ones that I've ever made. And I kind of want to do the same thing again. I really like the idea of words. So in my last video, I started cutting out some bits and pieces, and I have some words that I'm going to have to start categorizing. I'm going to have to jump up again. I need to get my little tray, because otherwise I'm going to start losing things. So give me 1 second. Okay. I've got this little tray, and I'm going to start cutting some stuff. So anyway, how are we? Happy New Year. This is exciting. I feel like I'm having a good start to the new year, although I've been pretty exhausted today. About an hour ago, I was like, I don't even know how I'm going to go on live. I could not stop yawning. I think I'm fine now, but if I start yawning all the time, I'm really, really, really sorry. Yay, Happy New Year. I'm so excited. How was everybody's New Year? What did you do? I was not in bed before midnight, but we celebrated the New Year just making cookies in the kitchen, and it was really, really fun. So Where do I want to start? I want to start with these new ones. I'm going to open these ones. Abby has asked, do you think that they actually work? Because I've done a few and some of the stuff actually come true, but the others never do. Example, I've been wanting to lose weight and I can't see the whole thing. Was there more to the question, or is there a way to see this? I have no idea what I'm doing. I'm not sure. But from the first question of do I think they actually work? Honestly, I don't know. I just think this is really fun. Like, I love arts and crafts, and it's just kind of like a big fun scrapbooking thing more than anything to me. And I just think it's fun. That's mostly why I do it. So I can't really say if it's like a success thing. I'm not leaning on this too heavily for my goals this year, if that makes sense. It's just more of a fun thing. Side note, this is the subscription thing. And I kind of want to subscribe to some magazines so that this time next year I have a stack. And as far as I know, it's a lot cheaper. You can get a full year for $24. Like, that's pretty cheap, I think. Send me a full year. I think that's cheap for a full year. That's what, $2 an issue or something, which is a lot less than what they retail for. So that's why I'm thinking of doing it, and then I can stack it up for next year. But yeah, back to the, do I think vision boards work? I don't know. I just think they're really fun to do, which is why we're here. Okay. I have a question because I want to say Alana just asked me, but I've noticed since living in North America, people here pronounce the name Alana. So I need to know, is it Alana or Alana? But for me, it's Alana. Has asked to see a planner set up. I haven't got my new Kiki K planner yet. I think it's maybe coming today or tomorrow. There's another subscription thing. I'm going to save these. I'll put them over here. I think it's coming tomorrow, and I'm still trying to work on my planner thing. I'm still waiting for the ink. I can't really do anything until the ink and the planner arrive before I determine what sort of layout I'm going to have. But I'm really excited. I'm thinking sort of maybe on Sundays or Mondays, I could sit down and just take a little bit of time to be creative and, you know, put some stickers into the planner and sort of plan out my week and just, I don't know. I kind of want to lean more into the creative side of planning this year, which is kind of what I'm doing with all of this. Like, it's just, I miss doing things with my hands and less digital stuff, you know, which is ironic considering we're on a lot of digital stuff right now. Diana has asked, after I complete the board, where do I hang it? I actually don't. I know it's kind of like the point of a vision board. Can you hear that noise? That metal clanging? There is a radiator right there. And it sounds like it's clanging, like radiators make noise, but that radiator doesn't work. Those noises are concerning me. That's fine. I think it's stopped, but I don't understand radiators. I have a whole thing that I'll get to in a minute that I thought about. But where do I hang it? I don't usually hang it because, I don't know, I just sort of put it somewhere. I don't know what I did with this one. This might have been in my office in 2022. And then in 2023, I made a little piece of paper one that I folded up and just put into my journal. And so because I had it on just paper and I was able to fold it up to this big, it just went in the front page of my journal. And so every time I journal, I could just open it and keep referencing it, although I don't know where it is. I tried to find that one. And then last year, I did the same thing again. That radiator is making so much noise. This is concerning me. I don't know why it's making so much noise. Or it's someone downstairs in the apartment below making noise. It's concerning me. It's fine. It's fine. Everything's fine. What were we talking about? Oh, the vision board. I don't know what I did with last year's one because I'm quite sure. No, I didn't make one last year. No, wait, I did. I did. I had to have. Not 2025, but I mean 2024. So year before. Because I was at my mom's. And literally the picture that is the thumbnail of this live is from the vision board that I made at my mom's. And I don't know where it is. But if I make it on paper, I can fold it up and put it somewhere that I can always pull it back out rather than sticking it on the wall. If I do it on this thing, it would make sense to stick it on the wall. And I don't really know if I want to do that because it's not always like the most aesthetic thing, but it is kind of fun. So I don't know. I don't really have an answer for that as to what I'm going to do with it. I have to decide what like canvas I'm going to use, whether it's the big one or even these little ones, and what I will do with it. So I'm sorry, I don't really have an answer for that. I think paper is probably the easiest because you can fold it away and maybe put it in your diary or something and then constantly reference it. Okay, I'm just gonna take a look at all of the questions. Yeah, the radiator is alive. It's probably just pressure from the hot water. Yeah, I don't know what the go is with that radiator. Thankfully, it doesn't work because they're so hot. And I mean, I hope it doesn't work. When they first started turning on a couple of months ago, this one just, it didn't matter whether I opened it or closed it, it didn't seem to turn on. And I'm hoping that that's just the way it is because otherwise it would be so hot in here. That one doesn't make noise very often, so it concerns me a little. Tracy said you could photograph it and put it in your journal, which is actually probably a really good idea. Is I could just take a picture of it and then put it somewhere, or I could take a picture of it and put it as my phone background screen. I don't know. Again, I'm just going to come back to the point of that this is just more for fun. I don't know if this is really a practical thing. It's just fun. And I think sometimes you just need to indulge in doing fun arts, crafts things, you know? Sonia has asked, have I tried junk journaling? No, I haven't. But I kind of want to, but I also don't know if I'd be like committed enough. I feel like I would forget to pick things up as I'm out and about and doing things. And then I also feel like there goes days. What am I trying to say here? There will be days that go by where I don't go outside and do anything. So then I wouldn't really have anything to junk journal unless I'm like, here's the cereal I ate today or something like that. I think the radiator is stopped. Anyway, yeah, so I don't know. I am going to look through, I think, this one. I always really liked this Real Simple magazine, but I noticed the other day when I was just flicking through them at the store, and here's another one that I got ages ago. A lot of it's just like little illustrations. It's not really pictures anymore. And magazines are a dying industry. There's not enough money in it, I don't think, anymore for the companies that own these to invest into making them have good substance. I don't know my words in English right now, but what I will say is I do like about this one is they always have like little gift ideas and things, and it does have lots of little pictures, which I like because then you can cut these out and put them on the vision board. Would love to know what your typical workday consists of. You don't seem to do sponsored content so much. I do sometimes. I think in November, almost every video was sponsored for a bit, and then there's nothing for a while, and then it all comes at once, and then there's nothing for a while. So at the moment, it's mostly just I'll have like a planning day, and because it's the new year content, I'll sit down and I'll start thinking about things that I want to talk about or what like would make up a good sort of new year video, and then I will then film it on another day, put it together, and then editing usually takes another day, and there's not enough days in a week to be able to make 3 videos and have 3 days per video, so I have to squish a lot of the time. And I feel like right now I'm just on a cycle of spend a few hours planning, spend a whole day filming, spend a few hours editing, and then sort of planning. And I'm trying to squish it into that amount. And then I fall behind because I wasn't able to get the video on the other channel out until yesterday. So that's pretty much it. And then I'm trying to squish in between some of that, filming reels and TikToks and taking pictures and stuff, and then sitting down to edit the pictures and the reels. I made a 2025 summary video in CapCut the other day, and that took me like 3 hours to edit, and it was honestly the biggest waste of time. Like, I should have just done it on a computer because I can cut so much quicker with like shortcuts on a computer. I'm not used to editing in CapCut, and trying to cut clips to music in CapCut is really hard because you can't really see the exact beats in the audio line properly, and so you kind of have to just guess, and it's not the same, nor is it as precise as when you do it in an actual desktop video editing thing. And I think that was probably like a waste of 3 hours. You know what I mean? Like, I could have utilized those 3 hours for other content and other things. So that's all of the content creation stuff that makes up most of my days. And I haven't really had a proper day off in a couple of weeks. Like yesterday, I edited in the morning, then I filmed a little bit more, edited again, and then spent like the afternoon doing nothing. So I'll have like half days off at the moment because it's just the new year. It's just the time of the year that you're constantly having to keep up with things. But that's mostly what the days consist of. It's either filming or editing, one of the two things. And it's just for every single platform. So, yeah. This is a good travel page, but see how it's an illustration? It's not a photo. There's just more illustrations like this these days. Do I have a manager that gets me sponsorships? I do. Gianna is the best. She does all of that for me, and that just takes like a thing that I don't have to worry about, because I can get really, really bad with my emails and I can fall behind. And if I want to be creative, ooh, I like these. These are all cleaning little illustrations. But again, lots of illustrations. I can fall behind in emails if I'm too busy focused on the creative stuff. And so she takes care of all of that for me, which is really, really helpful. So yeah, it's nice to have that. Let's see. Ooh, there's a whole fish section in here. I think this is cool. This is really cool. I like to look through my magazines first and then go back and do another round through. Actually, I'll probably do like 4 or 5 rounds through, and this is going to take me days. I will not be finished today. Might not even stick anything down today. It's just look, cut, rearrange, and then one day I will paste it all down. Let's see. Okay, next one. What's this one? Oh, Southern Living. I really like Southern Living magazines. I have this one. This is just so pretty, the green and the blue. I like this one. I do. I really love this 3-pack. It's the Real Simple, the Southern Living, and then the Better Homes and Gardens, I think. That's what BHG stands for, right? Yes. And then where's the one from today? This one. It's probably like a lot of holiday stuff. Karen bought a vision board set with pictures, posters and pictures as stickers. And now she's looking for pictures missing on Pinterest and then printing them out, which I love. I wanted to do that. I just haven't had a chance. I wanted to see if one of those pre-set things, I talked about them. I think you can get them off Amazon, and it's like a pack of vision boarding stickers or pictures that you can then, like, it's all just like really fun aesthetic stuff that's designed for vision boardings. And you're probably gonna have more luck there than magazines these days, because they just don't make magazines the way that they used to, you know? And I kind of regret not getting one of those, but I still have time, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not on a rush to get this done. This is just fun, more fun. I'm going to keep coming back to that and reiterating that this is just for fun. Some of these recipes look really good. Okay, the vision boarding pack was from Amazon. Yeah, I need to get one of those. I want to test it out. I've seen them and I've not tried them. I have another question asking, did I get my ring sorted in the end? I did. It just took like a month, and then there was just like a bit of like those issues with the diamond. So I selected a diamond, and then all of a sudden we get this email and they're like, it's no longer available. And then I just gave up. I was like, I quit. And I didn't do anything on it for like a week or two, which then obviously extended the time that it took to refix the ring. But I got it back a couple months ago in the end, and I'm very happy with it. I'm just having issues with the sizing. Like, the size of my fingers fluctuate too much, and like right now it feels a little bit loose, but then there'll be another day where I literally can't put it on because my fingers swell up so much. So I'm quite sure my fingers fluctuate almost from like I don't know what ring I know ring increments are in like quarter sizes, but I don't know what you would call, like, is a quarter size one size or is a whole number one size? If a whole number is a one size, I think my fingers fluctuate like a size and a half. And it's crazy. So yeah, it feels like a little loose right now, but then there's other days where I literally can't put it on, and it's annoying. I'm actually like aware of it right now, and I'm like, I almost don't really want it on. Like, I don't really wear it when I'm at home because I can be funny with rings, especially on hot days. Like in summer, I don't like wearing rings. So if you ever see me without it, it's just because I'm like, I don't feel like wearing a ring right now. Okay, Katie has asked how I felt about Mary Lou's coffee when I was visiting Massachusetts for Thanksgiving. It's so cool. I wasn't expecting like the whole cafe to be bright pink. Our friend had like talked it up, being like, if you're gonna go and get coffee, you're gonna go and get coffee from Mary Lou's. And the outside was really cute, but the whole inside was bright pink. It's in my Thanksgiving vlog on my other channel. It was really delicious. I had a hot chocolate, and it was actually really, really nice. Probably one of the nicest hot chocolates I've had. I had one the other night when we were at the zoo for the lights, and that was actually really bad. Like, it was just so sweet, and I couldn't even finish the hot chocolate because it was just straight sugar at that point, and I actually felt sick afterwards. But the Mary Lou's one was really delicious. I didn't have the coffee, so I can't speak on the coffee, but the hot chocolate was very, very good. Just a friendly comment, over planning and controlling life can, be a cause of migraines and the health issues, and that totally get that. I'm not like excessively trying to plan and control my life. I know it seems like it because that's all I've been talking about on my channel, but again, I'm trying to approach it from like a very fun, creative place, and not like I am digging my claws in to try and control my life. So I don't know what the word is. I'm not having a good afternoon trying to get the words out. But yeah, so I'm not like trying to plan my life to the point where I have to feel so desperately in control. It's just more that I miss doing all of this stuff because it is really fun, and I jump from planner to planner to planner because I just kind of get a bit bored of some planners, and then I just feel refreshed when I try a new one. And I guess because I haven't done it for so long, all of a sudden in the last few weeks, I'm like, I feel fresh again, and I feel excited to try planning again. And so I don't think that I'm like hardcore control freaking everything right now. I've definitely been in that phase before, but I don't think that's what's contributing to the health stuff. I actually had a thought the other day, and I was just talking to one of my friends for the last couple of hours about it. I'm wondering if there could be like mold toxicity in all of this, because we have no ventilation in this apartment, and all the problems started when we moved in here. 2 weeks after we moved into this apartment, I started sneezing. It was right before 4th of July. So we got the keys on the 1st of June. And then, 1st of June, we didn't move in until mid-June. And then 2 weeks later, right before 4th of July, I started sneezing. And if I start sneezing heavily in a 24-hour period, it means I'm getting the cold. And I was devastated. I was like, are you kidding me? I'm so excited to go away for the 4th of July. And I was really upset. But then I never got sick. And for the last 6 months, I am sneezing all the time. In fact, right now, I feel like a bit congested and a bit funny. I've started taking antihistamines a lot in the last couple of weeks, and I've just been sneezing nonstop. And then the migraine started similar time. I'm trying to remember pre-moving in here with migraines, and I can't really remember having any. It's only been since we've moved in here. And then I started to think that hair loss, I think I was saying a couple weeks back that right here in like the crown of my hair, I'm fully gray, like I'm very gray. And when I pull back my hair, I can't work out if it's the gray that's making me look like I have little bald patches or whether I genuinely do have little bald patches, but the hair here feels almost non-existent and like really, really thin. And then I thought about this yesterday and I'm like, my hair is really thin. It's thinned out a lot in the last couple of months, ever since I started dyeing it brown, which I don't understand because it's a volume 10 demi-permanent. That's not as damaging as full-blown bleach or a permanent dye. So I don't know what's happening, but I've noticed when I'm washing my hair, I just have so much more hair coming out. And so I'm like, these are all symptoms of possible mold. And it is extremely humid here in the summer. And I don't know. I Googled it this morning and apparently you can have the tests for mold toxicity. So I'm going to the doctor on Monday and I thought maybe I would just ask that question. But all of these symptoms and everything started showing up 2 weeks after we moved into this apartment. And so now I'm like wondering if this is the problem. So I just noticed I had a lot of comments coming through. I don't know how to get an apartment tested. I read something this morning that you can get like little dishes and place them around the apartment. And then after a certain amount of days, you can like seal them back up and send them off for testing or something. But it's not something I've looked into enough for me to know how to do mold testing. Like, I don't know if it's in the walls or whatever. We have, did I say this before? But we have no ventilation here. In summer, it's just AC unit, like window units for air conditioning. The one in the dining room works. Actually, the one in the dining room is the only one that works. The one that's here doesn't work. The one in the office doesn't work. And then we have a portable one that we would have here in the bedroom. And then in winter, it's just radiators. So there's no ducted heating. There's nothing, no vents, nothing like that. I have another one. Wait. So many. So I don't know. It was just a thought that came up that maybe all of these symptoms could be something to do with our apartment, because it all sort of started when we moved here. Someone DM'd me on Instagram the other day and said that they used to live in the DMV area, and that when they lived here, their allergies were so bad. And I was like, maybe I'm just allergic to the area because they have very bad pollen here. But like Melbourne used to have really bad pollen as well, and I never had issues when I lived in Melbourne. I've never really had issues anywhere else. So I don't know if it's that. you know? Okay, we have, yes, I found mold under my sink, a little leak. My husband and son were having headaches and allergies so bad, and it has been getting better. See? Could be mold, but I don't even know where it would be. I guess in the walls, maybe. The only thing that I could potentially think of is that, what do you call it? Bathroom? The bathroom wall. There's a wall right out there. It's the wall between the bathroom and the foyer. That wall gets very, very hot. Like, I've never lived with radiators before, so this is a new experience for me, but some of the walls here get so hot, like really, really hot to touch. And all the steam pipes are in that wall. Well, not all of them, but a bunch of them are in that wall. And there's a radiator in the bathroom just on the other side of it. And I noticed it when we first moved in, that in the foyer, and I put this on Instagram a couple months ago, but you may have missed it. There was a crack forming, like a teeny crack about this big in the ceiling on that, like in the foyer side of that wall. And then once the radiators started, I looked at it one day and I was like, I'm pretty sure that crack got bigger, and it looked like the paint was kind of peeling a little and like it expanded out. And then sure enough, I got a call from the maintenance team saying that the pipe in the apartment upstairs had burst, and I guess it was leaking into the wall. So they came in and they tore out that section, and then they plastered it back up. But I feel like if they had, I don't know, maybe they just missed that there was any mold in the wall, or they didn't even notice it. But they did all that work, and I don't know, I shouldn't make assumptions, because maybe they could have done all that work and then completely missed it, or they just weren't looking for it or something like that. I don't know. It wasn't like a big patch. They didn't take a huge amount off the wall, but it was, I don't know, like yay big kind of thing. So it could have been a thing. I'm not sure. Let's see. Sorry, I have comments, and I'm just trying to. And we have a siren. I could understand, Diana, where you say that if you're in the top level and the heat like carries up from all the radiators, it can get so hot. We keep the windows open a lot of the times at nighttime because it does get really, really hot. Although now that it's sort of like the middle of winter, it's not too bad. And so what we do at nighttime is we keep our bedroom windows open, so it's freezing in here and it's just so nice to sleep. And then we keep the bedroom door shut. And then in the morning, when you go out, it's actually so warm in the living room, and it's the best. So that's kind of our routine. But yeah, radiators make things very, very hot. Kayla has asked if I am looking, wait, what is the question? What are you looking for as inspo for your vision board, or are you letting the inspo come as you're looking? I did the planning thing the other day in one of my other videos. I have the whiteboard. We did a big planning session. This was two videos ago. And I basically just have the whiteboard, and I started throwing down all of these ideas and thoughts about things that I want to work on for the new year. And I'm going to cut those flowers out. Let me start cutting some things out. I've been here for a while and I haven't cut anything yet. I am just trying to keep in mind, wait. Oh man. I'm trying to like work this out so I don't mess up both sides, because I want some stuff from both sides. I just lost my train of thought. What was I talking about? Oh, I'm trying to find inspiration that fits with the stuff that I put onto my whiteboard goal setting thing. But if anything else stands out at me that I like or I find pretty or interest, I will add that too. One of the ways that I like to do my vision boards is to do it so that it's like very much a giant collage. This is the 2022 one, if you missed that. So I will use a mixture of actual things that depict the goals, but then also like up here, these are just some sort of fan things. I have another one down here, and they're not, what do you call it? It's not a thing to represent anything. It's just a texture or a cool image, and I like to put them at the back so that it's like fully covered in, and then it's all, I don't know, just fun and full. You know what I mean? Like full and a proper collage with like lots of layers. Okay, that worked. I was able to, I want the text from that one and then the flowers from this one, because I want to get back to making my nice bunches of flowers, which I did the other day. I have one right there, and then I have another 4 out in the other half of the other parts of the apartment. And I just miss getting some cheap supermarket flowers and then making lots of different bunches for all around the apartment. So I'm gonna get some flowers. Again, this is not exactly like a practical goal or anything, it's just for fun because it's pretty. These peonies are so pretty. And I just want to do it because I want to do it. Okay, you can measure mold in the air. I will have to look into that because I am curious if there's something going on here. I also read too earlier that I think that you can test for mold toxicity. I don't know if it's like a blood test or a urine test or something, but I think that's a thing. I don't know. It was a very like 2-second glance at a Google search. I wasn't actually sitting down to research things properly. So I don't know if that's true or not. Someone may have to correct me, but I thought I would ask the doctor about it. But I just, yeah, weird. All the symptoms started once we moved into this apartment. I don't remember having them before this or in the old place. Okay. Judy says that a few years ago, I lost a lot of hair and my scalp was freaking out. Right after I moved into a new place, it turned out the place had hard water with a lot of chlorine, and that can cause issues too. I think you can get tests for water chlorine. Maybe I should do that as well. I just thought that maybe I should look into some environmental factors as well, just in case it's something external that's causing all of these issues and not just internal issues. But I am so exhausted all the time, and I feel like it's getting worse. My iron levels are going up, thankfully, since taking supplements, so no issues in absorption, which is positive and good news. I guess I have to maybe see how I'm going in like 6 months, because I would assume it only took a couple of weeks for it to rise like 5 points. So I think that's fast. I also went to Reddit and I went to forums and stuff of other people's experiences, and some people have said that they've been taking supplements for a year and they had absolutely no change. So from what I could tell, I feel like that was fast. So I think I'm absorbing it and it's like working, but I probably won't be to a normal healthy range for maybe another 6 months. And that may affect the exhaustion levels, but I feel so silly and it's so frustrating. I couldn't get out of bed this morning. Just every couple of days, I can't get out of bed. Like I have to get up, drag myself to the couch, and then Chester makes me coffee because I don't even have like the physical strength to make the coffee. And then I have to sit there on the couch for maybe half an hour and just slowly come to life. And it's so frustrating because I'm just not getting as much done in a day that I would want to get done. And then I did some cleaning today. I put away all of the decorations. I took down my New Year's decorations and stuff and did like a little bit of cleaning in the dining room. That will be in my next video. And then I went for a walk to CVS, and it wasn't that far of a walk. I went to a different CVS, but I don't think it was that far of a walk. And by the time I got home, I was like, I can't stop yawning and I just want to sleep. And I'm like, this is not good. Like, this is not normal. I shouldn't be feeling this exhausted after just going for a walk and, I don't know, tidying like 5 things in the dining room. And so I'm just really, really sick of it. And I've also had issues sleeping as well now. I couldn't sleep 2 or 3 nights ago, and nothing was wrong. Like, my mind wasn't stressed over anything that, I guess on a surface level, maybe subconsciously, but it was more just that I couldn't get into a deep enough sleep, and it's like I was conscious the entire time. I slept for 20 minutes, woke up at midnight, and then for the next 6 hours, I was just, it's like I knew I wasn't sleeping, and then I was getting stressed because I knew I wasn't sleeping. And the entire time I was trying different sleep methods. I know that it's the one where if you're having trouble falling asleep, something really, really handy to do is to just start listing random things like tree, leaf, bark, dirt, mushroom, I don't know, and so on and so on. You just keep jumping like from thing to thing to thing, and it actually just like totally wears you out and makes you tired. And it usually works quite well for me. Spent a whole 6 hours doing it while I was like half asleep, and that's happened at least once a week for the last little bit, and it's really like not great. So anyway, sorry, I'm just like complaining and not being very, very positive. I'm really glad that you enjoyed the whiteboard planning, Kayla. Like, I agree. I think it is such a gentle way to make plans and goals. There's always like so much pressure to, I don't know, be stuck on a really strict routine. I've been having this conversation with Jessica lately. I am not very, I think I mentioned this before. I jump from planner to planner to planner and different systems all the time. It is just not in my nature to be able to commit to a planner and stick with it for an entire year. Some people can do that, and that's amazing, and I can't. And I've just got to this point where I'm like, okay, well, I can't force myself into habits and routines that are just not for me. I have to work with what works for me, and that is, I need to keep it interesting, and I was saying this the other day to someone, might have been on Instagram, in Instagram DMs, but I could have like 50 different colored planners and then just swap out the colors as I'm feeling a certain mood. And that's also why I'm like making this more about being fun and creative and less about like actually being like, I have to make these goals and I have to accomplish them, otherwise I'm a failure. Like, you know what I mean? I'm just trying to make it fun and trying to work with goal planning and setting goals in a way that works for me, which it's not strict. I have to keep it interesting to keep myself on course. Sometimes I'll go, okay, I'm so sick of pen and paper. I need my iPad. I need to do it digitally. And then other times I'll be like, okay, I need to do something with my hands. And so I just found like the whiteboard thing that I did in the other video was just a good starting point. Like, I don't know what I want to do. It's day 2, or like January 2nd. I still don't know what I want to do from this year. And there is so nothing wrong with that. You don't have to have it figured out today. So I don't know. I don't really care to do things in a set rule or a set way. I like to learn about different methods, but I will always just adapt them to how I want to do them. And I just kind of make things up as I go. Is it successful? Sometimes I'm on fire and I get so much done and I am like, bulldozing my way through life. And then other times I'm like, it's not happening. And then I've just decided to accept that that's how I function. I can't be on all the time. I can't be super strict with my routines, and that's okay. That's just how I do it, and I enjoy it. And it's the same thing with cleaning and stuff. I enjoy the process more so than the actual outcome of anything that I'm working on. So yeah, that's kind of like the way that I plan. I just try to do it in that approach of, I don't know what I'm doing, but let's just figure it out as we go. That's, I think, the best way that works for me. So I did say that at the very beginning of the whiteboard video. I wish I could come to this video and give you all the answers, but I don't have them. I figure it out as I go, and I've decided I'm just going to share with you my thought process and the way that I do things. I know for some people that's just like too chaotic and like a big no-no, but I don't know. I enjoy it. I enjoy the process, and I just trying to make it fun. Diana says that they jump from planner to planner as well. There was someone DM'd me the other day. I'm so sorry. I forget. I don't forget usernames as in like I know everybody as I see like your profile pictures and your usernames, and I know exactly what conversations we've been having. But to think about it when I'm not looking at it, I forget. But one of you has such a fabulous Kiki K planner collection, and I was like, oh my god, I love it. It's so perfect. So many different ones to choose from whenever you feel like it. I don't really like this magazine. I have been looking, but I will come back to that one. This one I have not touched yet. I really like this layout. There's books. How I was talking before about when I try to sleep and I will sometimes list things until I can just fall asleep. Well, there's this broccoli right here. I also have things that when I get into bed, to try to like sort of calm down and relax and stop worrying about whatever it is that I'm worrying about. I have certain little scenarios in my head that I kind of like go into just to escape, and they do help me fall asleep. And one of them, it's so stupid. It's called Mashed Potato Valley, I think is what I've called it. And it's so stupid. I used to hate mashed potatoes as a kid, but as an adult, I really, really like them. And I just like have this vision of me walking down this path, and it is just mashed potato mountains, and I'm in the valley, and it winds around, and the path is like sausages cut in half. I sound crazy. And then there's like little broccoli trees around, and then it opens out into this like lunch area with these little plastic like picnic tables. You have to imagine it as like a mini thing on a plate, but then you've shrunk yourself down and then you're in it. And then you can have mashed potato, sausage, and broccoli little meals, but all the food is just like scooped out of the mountain and stuff with like an ice cream scoop. So everything's in these tiny little bowls. And so when I'm really stressed or I just want to be able to escape into nothingness before I fall asleep, I'm like, okay, I'm going to mashed potato valley. It's so stupid. And it's just this thing where I'm like, I'm just going to go and do something really silly. And it just totally helps me fall asleep and forget about life. So that's one of them. Another one I have is my little mini orange helicopter. So I'm talking like fruit orange, like with the texture. I've been meaning I want to paint this. I want to paint my little orange helicopter. This one I came up with maybe in I don't think it was 2020. That's probably too far away. Maybe 2022, 2023, I maybe came up with this one. But I imagine myself shrinking down into my orange, and it has, what is that TV show from kids that has the worm, and it's the adventures of whatever it is, but there's the apple helicopter, I think. Is that a thing? Am I able to get out of this? Like if I pull up another tab, is it going to wreck the live stream? I don't think so. Hang on. What is it called? The helicopter. What am I trying to search for? Helicopter Apple cartoon. I could be remembering this incorrectly. The Busy World of Richard Scarry. That. So I have that, but like orange format. I know, very strange. And it's like inside is like a full nice little apartment. And when I'm stressed, I just like, and I'm like trying to get myself to sleep, I imagine myself going into this little orange helicopter and then just like flying around and like being basically invisible because no one knows that you're in this tiny little orange. And then I can just go off and do things. And I just try to go into like this fantasy land to just take me away from whatever's stressing me in real life. Oh, yes, Gravy River. So yes, there's like a bridge made out of sausages and there's a gravy river that runs through the mashed potato mountains. I sounded crazy, but like these are just things that I try to make up in my head to just so far take me out of reality so that I can like fall asleep. My birthday is August 15th. I am a Leo. I don't know if that says anything. Also, how nice is the sun reflecting off the building across the street? I actually can't see. It's blinding me. Happy New Year, Sherry. What are we chatting about? I'm chatting about the little scenarios that I make up in my head when I am trying to fall asleep and I'm trying to forget about whatever's happening in the world. Another one that I do just to like, if I'm like really stressed, is I basically just picture life and I have a giant white paint roller and I'm just like, life doesn't exist anymore. I'm trying to sleep and I just paint everything white until I am in a completely white void. And then I picture something like a comfy couch or something like that. So yeah, I have an imagination. I have a whole world going on in my mind, and it's a lot sometimes. And so, I like this picture. Let's cut this one. And so yeah, I do that when I am trying to fall asleep and stress, and they're just like sleep methods, I guess, for when I'm really, really stressed. Well, not. Those ones are a bit intense. I think those ones are for more when I am quite stressed. But when I'm not stressed, I just do the word thing where you just start listing random words, or I'll pick, what do you call it? A topic like cars or something. And you just go through the alphabet and you just have to name a car brand that starts with A, that starts with B, that starts with C, that's like all the way down. And usually when I do that, I'm asleep by the time I get to L. Like I can't, halfway through the alphabet and I'm asleep. This sun is so blinding right now. It's very pretty, but it's very blinding. Also, I know it's going to get dark soon, so I'm sorry if it gets dark and you can't see me very well. I can't see. Oh my God, I'm so glad someone else shrinks themselves down into like different things to make themselves fall asleep. Tracy says, I design my dream house or dream trip. Perfect. I love that. You just like create something in your head so then you don't have to worry. I get like sometimes when I'm falling asleep, it's so annoying. You know, when you like put your head on the pillow and then the next thing you know, you're like, I have 7 things to do on my to-do list and I need to do them right now. And it's the dumbest stuff. It'll be like, I need to make that doctor's appointment or I need to reply to that email. And it's like, I just laid down. Why are we going through this? Like, why is my brain going, you know what? Now's the perfect time to remember all the things on my list that I should have done today and I didn't. That's usually what goes on in my mind as soon as I put my head on the pillow. And it's very, very annoying. It's not ideal. This thing that I'm cutting out is a party theme. It's very like festive, and we would like to host more this year. And I'm just inspired by this picture, so I cut it out and it's going in the thing. I feel like I can't see after that sun. Oh, I'm so glad that so many of you did the whiteboard thing as well. I just got it all down and out onto the whiteboard. Hang on, I will get it. If you're watching this and you've not seen the whiteboard video, I will get it and I will show you. This is the whiteboard, which I think you could see. It's the 2026 just brain dump, get it down, start writing things that you want to work on. That's just sort of how I did it, and I think it's been pretty helpful. I haven't really had any other ideas come to my mind except until right now where I was thinking about the hosting. So yeah, I'm sort of using that whiteboard as my guide of inspiration as I'm going through the magazine stuff. So I have this planner I found the other day because I just want to get back to the good old days of having a planner. I really miss it. I just find it to be helpful. The only thing that I have managed to keep up in the last couple of years is Apple Calendar. I don't really like Google Calendar. I've tried it before, but I prefer Apple Calendar. And what I do is I connect a bunch of my different emails to it. And there goes the sun. How I did not need to stare right into the window right then. Yeah, I connect all my different emails and stuff, and then I just add everything in. And then Chester and I share a calendar so that when we're doing social things or just things that we need to remember, we can put it in the shared calendar. And I just have it open. Actually, it's not even open. What? Oh, that's right. I restarted my computer. Don't even get me started on trying to figure out this live stream. I downloaded 2 different types of software. Turns out didn't need either of them. And I eventually managed to get my camera connected. So we're here. We made it in the end. But I keep my, Google Calendar open on my desktop all the time. And I just have, I have different categories. So I have a health calendar, which I put, what do we put under that? We put like doctor's appointments, if I had to go to like the optometrist or something like that. Anything that's sort of health related goes into the health category. Then I have a pay credit card one where I just have it as a recurring thing in my calendar to remind me to pay the credit cards on the days that they're due. And then what's next? I can't see. The sun has blinded me. Then I have a work one where I just tend to put in anything that's related to work stuff. Like if I have an event or something to go to, or or meetings or things, I can put that in that color. That one's like a red color. I also have a color coordinated. So we start with yellow, gets like slightly dark yellow, orange, red, pink, purple, darker purple, blue, lighter blue, turquoise, green, different color green. Then I have birthdays. Birthdays is the most I want to say important one, but basically every time the discussion comes up with someone's birthdays, I put it in and I repeat it every year. Like I set it so it's all day, repeat every year. And it has been the best way for me to track people's birthdays because I used to do it on Facebook, but I don't use Facebook anymore. And so that's how I track everybody's birthdays. I have a personal one, which I don't really know what I use the personal one for. Then I started tracking. I have a new one that is for drinking alcohol, and I was tracking when I was drinking alcohol because I also have a separate one for migraines to be able to like you can turn all the calendars off and then I can turn what I want on and I can see if things are overlapping to try and see if there's like a correlation between them. I have a travel one for when we go on vacations. I have a video one for when I'm uploading videos and trying to keep to a schedule. I have a shared calendar. I have a friends calendar, which is where I put any time that we're hanging out with friends or events. Although that one I don't use as much because it goes into our shared calendar, which is kind of disappointing me a little bit. I kind of might share that one, and then we can just separate the two. Migraines, and then I also have a subscription renewal. That one's really handy. Basically, it's all color coordinated. So the really light green is subscription renewal, and it's for everything. It's for my Canvas subscription, my YouTube subscription, Netflix. I have so many. I have like just even work related ones. There's lots of little subscriptions, Amazon, all that. And I will either have it like as monthly, or if I do it yearly, I put it in and I just set it to, what is it? Like, I think it's say if something comes out on the 6th every month, I just set it to repeat on the 6th of every month. Or if it's a yearly one, I just set it to repeat every year. And it just helps me keep track of the, what do you call it? The subscription renewal. So I'm also able to see, like, you know what, I'm not using this anymore. Maybe I should unsubscribe from it, kind of thing. So that's the only sort of calendar planning system that I have used in the last couple of years. And I like it, but I miss paper and pen and all that sort of stuff. But those are all my different categories. I add to them, I change them, depending on what I need. Have I tried melatonin to help with sleep? We do have melatonin. I don't really like taking a full one. I find that just makes me too drowsy, but I sometimes will take a quarter of a melatonin, and I find that it helps. I am going to take some tonight because I don't want to go to bed near midnight. It's been too many nights of going to bed either like at midnight, at sometime between 11 and 1 a.m. is when I usually fall asleep, and that's too late. And I don't want that. I want to shift the routine. So I think after I spend time here with you guys, I'm going to wind down, probably have a shower, take my makeup off, and then take some melatonin early so that I can sleep, because I want to go to bed early. I don't want to be going to bed that late. Kayla has only found my channel recently, so welcome. I will tell you the story of how I got here. So where am I from originally? How did I end up in DC? So I am from Australia, and I've lived there my whole life until I was 29, in which I left Melbourne. Melbourne was the last place I lived in Australia. I left Melbourne and I went to Toronto, and I went to Toronto for just a couple of months. I had a friend there, and I just really, really, really enjoyed it so much that I was like, I love it here in Toronto. I'm going to do a proper visa, because I just went on a visitor visa for a couple of months just to visit and explore and see what it was like. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to get a working holiday visa. So I did. I applied for it. I originally went for 2 months. I stayed for 5, and then went back to Australia end of Feb 2020, and then the whole world shut down. So then visa processing stopped. So then I was living with my mom in our small town. But also, this was just after our house burnt down in the 2019-2020 New Year's Eve bushfires, which is crazy that it was literally 2 days ago, 5 years ago, right? 6 years ago. 1920 was when it happened. 2021, 2020, 21, 22, 22, 23, 24. Yeah, 6 years. Crazy. So we lost our house and we lost everything, my childhood home, all that. And so my mom happened to know someone who I guess had like a holiday house or something in one of the towns from where we grew up. And so they were so kind enough to let my mom live there. And I was living with my mom in this house. It was on the beach. It was near the beach, which was just like a dream considering everything that had happened. So during the first part of the pandemic, I was just going for walks on the beach and everything. And it was a weird time. Hey, like 2020 was weird, very stressful. So I stayed there for like 3 months, and then Melbourne started opening up again and life started happening, which was bad in hindsight. So I decided, you know what, I'm going to move back to Melbourne. I went back to Melbourne. I took all of my stuff out of storage, got this cute little apartment in St Kilda, which I really, really loved living in St Kilda, and set myself up. 3 weeks later, Melbourne was like, oh, this was a bad idea, completely shut down. And now I'm like on a very strange tangent of talking about all of this. I'm sorry. There's a lot to the story, and I'm going to go through it all. Anyway, so I ended up in Melbourne, and I got a 6-month lease. Thankfully, at the time, I think people were so desperate to rent out their apartments, they were allowing things like 6-month leases. I got a 6-month lease, but I stayed for 9 months, and I just was in lockdown. It was 23 hours a day inside. You got 1 hour a day to get groceries. Maybe it was 22, and then 1 hour for exercise. And the police would literally patrol in groups of 5 around St Kilda Beach. They never stopped me, and I never had any issue with them, but I heard that sometimes they would stop people and check Fitbits and watches to see if you'd been out for longer than your hour. Insane in hindsight. Anyway, then at the beginning of 2021, my visa finally came through because they started processing things. April 2021, I moved to Toronto. And then I was in Toronto for about a year before I met Chester. We met through friends. So all of my friends in Toronto were not from Toronto, which was a really nice way to make friends. Because when you're not all from that city, so people are looking for friends anyway. It's the same thing here in DC. DC is a transplant city. You don't come across people who are from DC very often. And so everyone I know here is not from DC, and it's easier to make friends when that happens because everybody's not from here and everybody's looking for friends. And so it was like that in Toronto. And then some of the guys that were part of our friend group went to school with Chester. So then when he moved to Toronto, he came out one night. It was St. Patrick's Day 2022, and we met and we became friends. And we were friends for a whole year before we started dating. Then, at the end of 2022, my visa was starting to run out. And there's another siren. The visa was running out, and then I packed up everything in Toronto. I couldn't get another Canadian visa because at the time, I don't know what it's like now, but at the time, the only way you could really get a visa was if you were to have like a bachelor degree at least. Also, at the time, I was 32, and the older you get, they deduct points from you because you're not a viable candidate. Essentially, the way that they do their immigration ranking is that if you go over when you're younger, then they get a young person who's going to be able to pay taxes for longer to help support the system. But as you get older, then there could be health issues or things that could become a problem, and you're not there for as long. Also too, I may be wrong. I could be wrong in saying this, but I feel like there's a point system, and for all these things that you have, you get points, and to be able to apply for this visa, and the older you get, the more points you kind of lose. And that's the reason I think, I don't know, please don't quote me on that. I could be very wrong. I'm sorry for sharing misinformation if that is wrong. But because I was in my 30s and I didn't have a bachelor's degree and I didn't have all these things, I just did not qualify for another Canadian visa. So I left and I went back to Australia, and I spent 3 months living with my brothers, which was really fun. And then that's when I had my super, super, super low iron for the first time, when it was borderline life-threatening. And then I had to go on the waiting list to get an infusion, which I had in March 2023. And then I went to Japan for a bit. Then I went to Austin, Texas for a while. I went house sitting for my friend. And I went back to Toronto. And I was just going to spend the summer hanging out in Toronto before I went back to Australia, trying to figure out what I wanted to do next. Because I couldn't get another Canadian visa. But I was like, do I go back to Australia, or do I want to try a different country? And after spending time in Austin, I was like, maybe I should see if I can get an American visa and move to the US instead. So then Chester and I started dating. And from the day that I met him, I always knew that he was going to move to DC. He was waiting for his visa to come through because he's Canadian. So basically, not long after we started dating, he ends up moving to DC, and then we go into long distance. And then I go back to Australia. I'm back there for 7 months waiting for my American visa. And then in April 2024, I finally get my visa and I moved to DC. And now I've been here for a year and a half. And that is how I'm here. So that's the story of the last 6 years, I think. Yeah, 6 years since I first moved to Toronto. What are we? Yeah. Once we're married, we'll be able to do all different. Like we could do Canada, Australia, or the US. We could do any of them, which is kind of cool. There's options. But yeah, we're actually just in a phase right now where we're very undecided of where we want to be. We've both traveled a lot and like lived in a lot of different places. So neither of us really have anything to anchor us here, or I don't know. I feel like when you've lived in lots of different places feel like home, and it kind of becomes a bit harder to pick where you want to live. So we've been discussing it lately, and we're unsure. For the time being, we're staying here. But I don't know. There's options, and I guess we'll figure it out. We already asked if we could re-sign the lease here in this apartment, but now I'm concerned that I'm sick because of the apartment. So I guess we'll have to see with whatever that means. My outfit. These tracky pants are, no, they're not part of a set. They were an individual. The brand is called Pinspark. They're on Amazon. They're quite cheap, really, I think. Well, everything's expensive this day and age, but these didn't come as a set, but they do have them in a set, and I don't think you can get this exact individual pair anymore, but they have the same fabric, same sort of style of tracky pants on Amazon. And then this sweater is from Cezanne, and it's like, I really like it. I sort of kind of going back to millennial gray. I was so all about millennial gray. I remember in 2016 and 2017, if you remember my videos from back then, I'm like, I just was all about millennial gray. I wanted everything to be gray. And even yesterday afternoon, I was standing in the mirror and I was wearing all black. And I was like, I just held up the gray and I was like, I do gray. Like, I think my coloring is gray. It's a very cozy kind of like vibe, right? But we did take it a little far as millennials. Like, it was a little much. I'm going to cut this out for no reason other than this picture is just pretty. Pretty. Oh yeah, my folded vision board that I did with my friend Christina. I talked to Christina the other night, actually. It's been ages. Her and John have been traveling so much, and she had a baby, and it's crazy. She hasn't uploaded much on YouTube lately because she's just sort of taking some maternity leave. But yeah, like crazy. I haven't seen her. I don't think I've seen her since then. So we're coming up on 3 years since I've seen her, which is crazy. I miss them so much. But yeah, we had a big chat the other night, and we had so much fun that day making that vision board. I made it on paper so I could fold it up and put it in my journal to take it with me when I was traveling. And now as I say all this out loud and I've like really hyped up the whole folding it up, I'm like, maybe I should just do it on paper again. I don't know what I'm going to do with this, but it's just a really pretty, oh, I know what these are. These are so pretty. Can you see that? It is beaded flowers, which now that I'm looking at it, I'm like, that would be a really, really cool thing to learn how to do. I like that. Anyways, it can go into the pile. I feel like I haven't cut too much today, but I am going to cut this one. Spring. Spring is my favorite season. I'm really, really looking forward to it. I've already started saving spring pictures on Pinterest. I'm getting ahead of myself. I know I'm supposed to enjoy every season, but I don't know. I'm not really loving the winter. All I want to do is be on a tropical beach right now. The unknown artist asked, does the apartment have mold? We were talking about this before, so you may have missed it, but it's a thought that I have. I'm wondering if the apartment has mold because all of my symptoms started just after I moved in, literally 2 weeks after we moved in, and I started having allergies, and my symptoms are consistent with potential mold toxicity, so that could be a thing, but I don't know. It doesn't. I just always sort of assumed that mold would sort of be in really dark, very, very humid places. But then in summer, it is so humid here. So, and I guess if it's inside the walls are dark. So, that doesn't really make much sense. You know? This guy's out. I feel like I can't see. It's probably from the sun in my eyes before, maybe. Ooh, what has been my favorite thing in Washington that we don't have in Australia? I'm never good with these questions at the top of my head. I can't think. Okay, well, one of the very, very cool things about being here in Washington is all of the museums and the monuments and the history. So all of this is so much older than anything in Australia that, like our, what do you call it? Parliamentary, what I mean? Like as a country, whenever they started making countries. And so there's so much history here, and there's all the monuments and the museums, which are really cool. And I think all the Smithsonian ones are free. Like you don't have to pay to go to them. So you can just rock up and go. And I think it's really cool. There's like a lot to see and a lot to explore. And there's like the zoo is free as well. The nightlights thing isn't free. But it was only like $9 a ticket, which isn't particularly very expensive. But like just free museums and just a lot of history stuff. And also, I think one of the things about being in the US is that growing up in Australia, and I don't know if this is like this all around the world, but you just like so much of TV and movies is made in the US and made for a US storyline. And so being here, you kind of get to experience all these things that you saw on TV and in movies growing up. And there's so many movies and TV shows that are set in DC, and it's so interesting being able to see that. Whereas it's not quite the same. Like I know Neighbours and Home and Away are set in Australia, and I guess you could probably pinpoint where they go, but I think a lot of that's just a set, right? I could be wrong. I don't know what they do for that, but I don't know. It's kind of cool. That's kind of something that you don't have in Australia, is that because a lot of TV and movies are made here, you kind of get to experience all these things in person. My mom still has Barnaby, my cat. He is 9, I think. No, 8. I think he's 8 now. Yeah. He just was not an apartment cat. Like, he was not happy living in an apartment. Even when we had to live in that temporary house after the fire, he hated it. He hated it. He would just be at the door screaming to go outside. He's basically just a bush cat now, and he just lives outside, and he loves it. He goes and makes like a little nest in the long grass, and he just sleeps all day, comes home for food, and then goes straight back out and just lives in his little bush nest. And that's his thing. He's just not an indoor cat, and he just thrives out there, and he loves it. And so whenever I go home, I have to like go hunt him down. I mean, if you call him, he thinks that you're gonna feed him, so he'll show up. But yeah, he just like kind of lives out there now, and that's his thing. And it's not an indoor cat. He hated it. The Home Depot has tests that you can buy for mold, which is great. I need that. I will look into that after this live, because I thought about that and I was like, how do you test? Is there, I don't know, spores or something in the air? I can pick it up, because I don't know how to get into a wall to see what's behind the wall. So no mold smell. Like, it doesn't smell in here at all. Yeah, no smell. The only smell that sometimes comes is like that, I don't want to say like a burning smell, but you know when something is warm and it's like warm dust, burnt, like it's just from the radiators. It's like, seems like something is burning, but it's not. It's not that burnt fire smell. It's just, you know, when something's warm and it's like a dust burn type thing. It's getting dark. Does that make it more crazy? What one should we put on? The most yellow one. I don't think that has any charge. These are cool, but the charge doesn't last on them at all, which is kind of annoying. Forgive me, I'm gonna charge it right now. I want to, it's on my mind, and there's a plug, and I have a cable, and I'm gonna try and not knock my tripod over. Will this reach? I don't think this is gonna reach. This outlet must be lower on this side than the other side, because I can't plug it in. So unscrew it. There we go. We'll let it charge. They're cute and everything, but they just don't last that long. I'm sure I could find other ones that have a much better charge life on them, but not those ones. Not those ones. Okay. Oh my God, that's terrible. About that Cambria person that had mold in their house, and then it was affecting the fertility. Oh, that like stresses me out. That stresses me out so much. I'm glad that she's like fine and like okay now, but that just, that stresses me out. A test called mold armor. Let me just put that into my phone really quickly. Also, I'm pretty sure mold here is spelled without the U, right? The same way that armor is spelled without the U. Because I saw it the other day and I was like, have I been spelling mold wrong my entire life? But then I just realized it's the British versus the American thing. Okay, mold armor test kit. You can also get it at Lowe's. I could DoorDash it, which I'm not going to, or Ace Hardware. There's a couple of like these little Ace Hardwares around here in DC, and they're very handy if you need something. I keep getting questions about like the wedding stuff, and I'm like, I don't know what to do. I really don't know what to do. So I need some opinions and some thoughts because I've had such mixed, what do you call it? Why is the word review is in my mind, but that's not the word I'm searching for. Mixed answers, I guess. A lot of people we've talked to who had a really big wedding kind of had the wedding because their parents wanted them to, not necessarily because that's what they wanted to do. Neither of us have parents that are desperate for us to have a wedding. My mom was like, you should just totally elope. She's so fine with it. So we don't have any pressure from anyone else to have a proper wedding. A lot of people I know too also had financial help from their parents. We don't have that either. So that's kind of like, I'm like torn about whether, like, would I regret not having a wedding? Is it worth investing all of that money into a day? Or do you just have something small or elope, or do you know what I mean? And I need to know people's experiences and what their thoughts are, because I'm just undecided about whether I would regret it. What is this one? Oh, it's the Better Homes and Gardens one. But it's an old one. Magazines just are not what they used to be. I miss the Cosmos. And what was the other one? There was Cosmo and there was another one, and I don't remember what the other one was. Ooh, I like that. A little Vegas wedding thing. I just don't know what to do. And I don't have like a really big drive to plan. I thought I would, like, we had a planning session last week because it's the first time we've had some downtime that we were able to like look at venues and things, but it's also really hard. There is a bird in the tree out there, and it's a big bird. I don't know what it is. And like, Australia is so far away. Like, it's just so far away. And there's not really an in the middle, like maybe in Hawaii, but for a while I thought Hawaii because it's kind of in the middle. And then also too, when at the time that I looked, flight time and flight price was about the same for everyone from Australia and from North America. So you can, I think it's like a 10-hour flight from Sydney or something. And you could, I don't know anymore because prices keep going up, but at the time I looked, which was probably a year and a half ago, you could get like return flights to Hawaii for like 400 and something US dollars, maybe 500. And then there were flights from Canada and the US for roughly the same price. And I was like, that makes a lot of sense. That's like easy for everybody. But then I don't know. I'm just like, I'm so undecided on the whole wedding thing. Oh, I have so many different like thoughts. We've got like ceremony being the most important thing, and then like special locations. I'm trying to think. Um, my friend married at the local townhouse and only invited close family and friends, about 30-ish people. Afterwards, we went to a nearby restaurant and ate some cake and music to celebrate. That's so nice. 58 people 9 years ago. Sorry, this is a different person. I probably should have different comment. So 9 years ago, 58 people in total, only parents, siblings, partners, grandparents, uncles and aunts, cousins, and 10 to 15 of our best friends. That sounds so nice. We sat down and did our guest list the other day, and even with like a family, an extended family, I think our guest list is 90, which includes children. Don't know if we would have an adult only wedding or whether, like, I think there's 10, maybe 10 kids or something. Could be 11 or something by time. Like, I know that there's going to be more. But I think we had like 82 or 83, maybe not 11, I don't know, like about 80 adults that we would invite. Also, of course, some people will not be able to come. That's always a thing. You lose like a certain percentage. I was Googling it the other day, but I don't know what the percentage is. So I think that number, from my understanding, is a mid-size wedding. I think anything under 60 was considered small, and then 60 to like 120 is mid-size, and then I think 120 plus is considered large. Spend the money on photography. That's so important. I think that is very, very important. Yeah, I don't know what to do. It's a lot. The other thing too is whether you pick something that's like package deals, where you pay and then it's like all the food's included and then the bar or whatever, or you pay for a venue that's BYO and then you source your own catering and alcohol. With that, I know that like if you say you do the alcohol, you can buy it from like a liquor store, like a Dan Murphy's, an LCBO, and what even is a liquor store here in the US? That's a chain. Do they even have chain liquor stores here? Most supermarkets just sell alcohol. It's not like that in Australia. You can't buy alcohol in the supermarket. You have to go to a designated alcohol liquor store. Do they even have that here? Anyway, you could go and buy all your alcohol from there, and then they usually let you return anything that's left over. So we went to a wedding recently, and they had, interestingly enough, only 3 bottles of white wine were drunk. They had, I think, like 6, 7, maybe 8 bottles of red. And the rest, everybody, and hardly any beer. Everybody just drank spirits, and they ended up returning their leftover alcohol and got like $1,600 back or something, which is a pretty good chunk of money. So hard to say whether you just pay the extra and have it all included, or whether you do it yourself. It's getting darker and I'm having a hard time seeing. I'm going to turn some lights on. I'm not going to turn the overhead light on. It's too bright, but I'm going to turn some lamps on. Just 1 second. That's one. And then I'm trying not to hit the tripod. Oh, wait, hang on. Oh, no. Okay, I have to unplug something, and I hope I'm not unplugging you. No, that's my hair thing. This one. Okay. Please tell me they're still there and I didn't mess that up. Okay, we're good. We're good. I didn't knock the cable out. I forgot what I was saying beforehand. Vanessa says, I had a very large wedding. I could have purchased a home 5 years sooner. We paid for ours also. I would make it simple and save money for your home. That's sort of like what we're leaning towards. Like I just don't like have that I don't know, like connection to wanting a wedding. I don't know. It's hard. Okay, so like a small wedding and then like a big party like afterwards. Yeah, sometimes like just the children add like such extras, especially if you have limited like capacity and stuff. Really undecided, but I'm also like, I don't know. Like all the kids that are coming are really great and it would be absolutely chaos. Like it'd be like chaotic, but it would also just, I don't know. Like I don't mind the chaos. I think that might be fun. And then that also saves people having to get like sitters and anything. So I mean, like if I'm cool with the chaos, then maybe kids would be okay. We had a wedding with the closest friends and family, and after the reception, we went to a restaurant. We didn't have help from parents either. We spent money on starting a life together instead. See, I like that. I like that. I don't know. It's hard because I see other people on social media like getting really into the full scope of like wedding planning and the like every event that goes with it. So like the engagement party and then the bridal shower, the bachelorette, all of these things. And I'm like, it looks really fun and really cool, but I don't know. I just don't feel like super connected to it all. And I don't mean that in a way that like I don't want to be married to just like I want to be married to him. It's just more, I don't know. I never dreamt of my wedding. I always sort of like, as a young kid, I dreamt of like living in a big city and having nice shoes in my closet. I know that's very superficial, but I never like saw myself actually getting married. And for a very, very long time, I was like, I don't want to get married. I don't want to have kids. For the longest time, that was my thing. I was like, no, I enjoy being by myself. I enjoy like working and just that kind of thing. But then I guess it changed. Some people say that that happens. It does bug me a little bit when you get put into those boxes. Like, oh, it'll happen. You'll change your mind. Yada, yada. Maybe, maybe not. For me, it did. I changed my mind. I think it was just because I got a bit older and I kind of accomplished a lot of the goals that I really set out to accomplish in my late 20s. And then I was like, okay, well, what's next? And I have really, really enjoyed spending time with family and just being in honestly chaos. Like when we spend time with Jesta's cousins and all their kids, it is pure chaos. It's insane. And once upon a time, I would have hated that. And now I'm like, I actually enjoy it. I enjoy it. And so I don't know. I think that just changed a little bit, you know? Bye, Miriam. I hope you have a good day or night wherever you are. The best idea I saw for a wedding was an elopement/honeymoon in the one, still with the full wedding attire, gown, and tux. Loved that idea. We were expected to have a wedding and regret it. And they're Aussies. Yeah. I don't know. For some people, it's like it's the best thing, having the big wedding. And then, I don't know, I'm just so torn because part of me is like, will I regret not doing it? But then someone said to me the other day that if your biggest concern is regretting it, like I don't think that's like enough of a reason to go all out with the whole, big thing. So there's that. I was talking to some new people I met last night as well, who did like a little elopement thing first, wedding later on. So there's also that. Don't know. See, but then now we have the opposite where it's I regret eloping. Have a small wedding. Part of me thought, I'm like, see, I would like to have everybody in the one spot, which is really hard to do. But then I'm like, okay, well, maybe we do something here and do something in Australia. I'm just really torn. Really, really torn on it. I still haven't got any wedding magazines. I just realized as I'm like flicking through them, I haven't bought any wedding magazines because I didn't get a chance to go to Barnes and Noble this week. So I've only been to CVS and the options are very limited. Very limited. The guy was there swapping over magazines and I was like, oh, what do you have? And he had nothing. Like there was no lifestyle magazines. There was nothing like this real simple Better Homes and Gardens, anything like that. It was, what do you call it? Like a health and fitness type thing. And like I think there was an Alzheimer's magazine and like a bread magazine or something, but nothing that would have had any pictures in it. So I was like, I need to go to Barnes and Noble. I just didn't get a chance this week. We will see. Wait, I had a question before that I forgot about. Oh, if I had to get another job, what work did you have in mind? Honestly, I have no idea. I don't even know what I'm qualified for, considering I've been doing YouTube and stuff for the last 10 plus years, so I don't even know what I'm qualified for, but before YouTube, I worked in retail and I loved it. Honestly, I would be so happy to just go and work in a clothing store again. I loved it. It's so much fun to me, like the cleaning and the organizing of everything, and then just, I'm not like much of a salesperson, but I had success when I was doing it. I used to work for factory, like Cotton On factory, and I loved it. I started as like a casual worky person, and then I was put up to doing the non-manager shifts. So like I would do the closing, I would run Sundays and Thursday nights for late night shopping and all of that. And then actually I'm going to look through this one. I haven't looked through this one yet. And then eventually I got pushed out of that store. It was Christmas time and they had hired a whole bunch of Christmas people. And they were like, yeah, sorry, the only option you have now is to move to Canberra and go and be a store manager at the Tuggeranong store. So I did that for almost a year. And it was great. I took it from a bottom store into a top store. It was really like poorly managed before I got there. So I went to be store managed there and completely turned it around, which was really cool. And then they were prepping me to go to regional manager, but I just didn't really want to do the traveling for that because in that region you had to travel a lot and it was by car. And I liked being store manager. I just really enjoyed it. I liked my job and yeah, I really, really enjoyed it. And then I remember we ended up getting a new regional manager and she was terrible. Like, she was not very nice at all. But I really, really liked that job. I really enjoyed it. It was so much fun. I loved like all the merchandising and like, rearranging the stock. We get like a little PDF that we'd have to follow and we'd, have to arrange everything. And I just really, really enjoyed it. It was fun. So I'd honestly probably go back to that because I feel like that's relatively easy. So, that's what I liked. I like that one. Forget about anyone else, magazines, media, people. Cut out the noise and in your heart of hearts, ask yourself, what do you want? I believe deep down you have some idea what would make you happy. Yeah, look, if I'm really, really honest, I feel like there's definitely a part of me that's like, oh, well, if we have a wedding, then we get all these beautiful pictures and then I could put them on the internet, which is stupid. Like, that's such a, like, I don't know, it gives me the ick when I think about that. I'm like, I get it. I get the wanting to take nice pictures and be able to share them with everybody, but I'm like, that's not a driving factor here. Like, that's not it. Like, I decorate our house with pictures, but there's so many different ways to get nice pictures. It doesn't just have to be like a big giant wedding, you know? So yeah. Ugh, I don't like that. I don't like that feeling. Ooh, look, this is a good picture. Where did my scissors go? I feel like I can't see. Like, my computer's kind of far away from me, but that's true. You could always do something later on, like do something further down the line. I don't know. It's a lot to plan, and I don't know. Is Chester older or younger than me? He's actually younger. He is just under 2 years younger than I am. So he's 33 and I'm 35 at the moment. And then he will turn 34 before I turn 36. So almost. And it's really funny because for a while there, I was really like, I'm not interested in dating anyone younger. I don't think anyone younger is going to be at the point in life that I'm at. I was wrong. And there are very, very much older men who are so not ready for any type of commitment or anything. So that was such a silly thing I had in my head. That's funny. There's a whole page here about weddings. I'm going to take that whole thing out. Right here. It's like a wedding invite thing. So some wedding stuff. Oh, see, then I get all like overwhelmed. I'm like, oh my God, then you need the stationery. And then there's like the save the dates. And then there's the actual date. Also, how do you pick a date? I don't think I have ever planned that far in advance for anything in my entire life. I'm like, it stresses me out thinking about having to, like, what if I pick the wrong day? What happens if something comes up and I'm like, oh, this is the worst date ever, but it's too late because all the invites have gone out at like, do you know what I mean? Like, I stress about that kind of thing. I'm like, how do I know that this is going to be a good date and that I haven't accidentally missed something of some sort of thing, important event or something? Because I feel like that's me. I would do that. I'd pick something and be like, not do my due diligence and trying to find out whether it's not like a public holiday or not like some sort of shutdown. I don't know. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Like, I'm not doing a very good job of explaining it, but that kind of thing. The good life. I'm not having much luck with pictures. I think I'm just going to have to go back to words and cutting out all the words that I like. Because I've been through almost all of these magazines twice and it's just so average. So maybe I do all the pictures off Pinterest and then I can do all the words out of these guys. Happy New Year. I'm so excited. I'm so excited for the new year. I feel like a different person. Except for being tired. That's still the same. But do you know what's funny? Because I just saw this house here, this picture of this house, and I had this moment in my mind being like, oh, I need to pin that. I'm not on Pinterest. I'm not on Pinterest. That's not how this works. take the whole page because I want the whole stationery drawer. This is going to go into my planner section and wanting to be more organized. I've been watching you for years, and I'm not sure if you have any brothers or sisters. I have no sisters, but I have 3 younger brothers. 2 of them are twins, and it was wild. My mom had all 4 of us under 4. I think I was 3 when the twins were born. So my mom had 4 kids under 3 by the time I was born. By the time the twins were born, I think. They were born in 94, and I turned 4 in August, and so I was still 3 when the twins were born, and then my middle brother is a year and a half to the day younger than I am, and then the twins are 2 years younger than him. So very, very close in age, and it was chaos growing up. So I grew up in chaos, and then as an adult, I was like, nope, I just want to be quiet and peaceful. And then as I've gotten older, I'm like, no, you know what? I crave the chaos. It's fun having people around and it being loud. And then I'm sure once I have kids and they grow up and they go off, I'll be like, okay, I'm ready for the peace again. And it'll just be a cyclical thing. I'm like, chaos, peace, chaos, peace. And then chaos again if my kids have kids. And then there's grandkids, and that's crazy. I feel like that's a nice life. This magazine feels funny. Almost feels like it's sandy texture. Do I have any sticker letters? I think I do. I just don't know where they are. They might be in my, what do you call it? My arts and crafts closet that's out there. So I might be able to do that. And then, what was the other question? How did I know that Chester was the one? That's a good question. It was because we'd been friends for a year beforehand. I think that in the year or so that we were friends, there was always a little something, but I was so stupidly emotionally wrapped up with someone who was emotionally unavailable. So I wasn't available. He was also seeing someone for a bit. So there wasn't really a time that we were both available, but I always had this very deep respect for him as a person. I was he's just I was he's one of the nicest people I've ever met in my life. And then everyone else had nothing but positive things to say about him. Basically, behind his back, everyone would just be like, oh my God, that dude, he's the nicest dude ever. He'll give you the shirt off his back. Just everybody talks so highly and so positively of him. And so when we both ended up at a point where we were both available and we were ooh, there's a thing here. It just was easy. There was no doubt or no worry that he wouldn't be the right person, because I had always just had so much respect for him. And then I didn't have to worry about introducing him to my friends. Everybody already knew him, and everybody always talked so highly of him. And so that was just this really, to me, very solid foundation that we were okay, well, we could be romantic. And then as time went on, just he's extremely patient, and I need that because I can be really, I have moments where I'm I'll have these little meltdowns being oh my God, I'm very fine when things are serious. It's if something's serious, I almost play it down. But when something inconvenient happens, I'm this is the worst thing ever. And he's just stop, and he's just very good with that. And then I just felt like heard and like I had the safest space to be myself, and not to like, I don't know if comparing is a good thing or a bad thing, but when I thought about our relationship and him compared to every other relationship I'd had and everyone else I dated, like one, I wasn't anxious, I wasn't stressed, I felt very calm, very at ease, very relaxed. And I also felt, damn it, it's just gone out of my mind. What was the word that I was trying to search for? Safe. I think I might have said that before. I just felt like I had a safe space to, in the same way that I had a safe space when I was a kid, right? I felt that kind of thing with him. Like there's no, like I've just never felt like he's going anywhere. Do you know what I mean? It's just been really, I don't know, solid and just calm and like safe basically the entire time. And I do think that's because we had a friendship first. And I knew him as just a friend person in my life. And I think back to all the times that we hung out just by ourselves when we were friends. And it's like, it was nice. It was really nice. So I guess that's probably the best way to describe that I knew how, like he was the one, is that it just, yeah, I just feel like I have a very safe space to just be myself, and it just feels solid and he takes care of me. I don't think I've had anyone in a long time be so giving and just like make sure that I'm fine. And I've been so insanely independent as an adult. I'm like, I don't ask for help. I don't ask anything of anybody. I will, and I can, and I will do everything on my own. I do not need anyone. And after spending like, all my adult life being just so, I don't need anybody. I don't ask for anything. I don't rely on people. And then I have this person in my life who is willing to show up and do things for me. At first I was like, it's a little uncomfortable because I'm like, well, like I don't know how to ask for things, and I don't know how to like rely on someone. And so that was like really interesting getting used to that. And now it's still a bit uncomfortable for me, but like this morning when I got up and I was like, I am so dead tired. He asked me he was like, if I make breakfast right now, will you eat anything? Because sometimes I'm like, I'm not hungry and I won't eat when he cooks. I was like, yes, but could you actually please make me coffee? Because I just cannot be bothered to get up right now. Like I'm dead. And like, I feel weird asking that, but like he just does it. And like, he's just a very giving person and takes care of me. And I'm not used to that because I'm like, I don't need any help. Like, so that's been an adjustment. But yeah, those are like all the wonderful things that I'm just like, yeah, like that's how I knew. Like, it's just a very calm feeling, very safe feeling, Yes, the vision board magazines on Amazon. I'm gonna get some. I was meant to do it this week, but I didn't. Wait, you know what? Where's this one? I have to look through this one. Like, these are just not as good as they used to be. Actually, this Washingtonian one. This year has 53 weeks. Love that. Get a whole extra week. That's fun. It's properties for sale. DC is so interesting like that. So about an hour out in Virginia is the wealthiest postal code area, whatever, in the entire United States, I think. Loudoun County, I think. Like the median household income there is hundreds of thousands of dollars, I think. I don't know the exact statistics, but DC is just such an interesting place. There's just houses that are insane. Like, we went for a walk the other day over Embassy Row, where it's like all the embassies and stuff. That's also a very interesting thing, like all the different embassies. And some of the houses there, like, we're talking multi-million dollar houses that are tens $10 million plus. Like, it's just insane. And it's crazy in some of the areas that you walk to, and it's just like, what is this? Very crazy. Oh, a 2-year engagement. That's such a nice time. That's such a nice time. I know that not everything has to be to a specific timeline and that you can make it up and do whatever you want, but it's like, I'm not running out of time. I'm not running out of time, and that's not what I'm trying to say. But I don't think I would want to wait 2 years to have, you know what I mean? Like, I'm like having to adjust that original timeline that I thought I would have just based on like my age, getting older, wanting to have children. So I'm like, maybe we actually I want to be married before having children. Just a personal preference. I don't really like, it's nothing other than just a personal preference. I would like to do it in that order. But it might be like we get married and then have years. I don't know what I'm talking about. I don't know. Timelines are changing. I still feel like I can't see. I have a hard time reading white text on a black background, and that's what this display is. It's white text on a black background, and I'm struggling. I am 30 very soon, and you have a lot of thoughts lately that there is nobody else single around me, and I am watching you, and I have for a while, and you're giving me hope that first I need to put myself first. Yeah. Put yourself first. I don't really want to be giving out like relationship advice, because I've sort of learned that it's so individual. Like, everybody has different wants, needs, personal preferences, ideas of what they want their life to look, different values, morals, things that are important to them, things that they don't care so much about. It's different for everybody, and I just don't think that there's like blanket advice that you could give to anybody, because what works for one is most certainly not going to work for another. And I really struggle with some of that on TikTok in particular. It's very like, here's a set of rules, and if you don't stick to them, then everybody's a walking red flag and everything's terrible. And I witnessed a couple of years ago a friend of mine who got really down that rabbit hole of like consuming TikTok dating advice, and were like, these are the red flags, and it did not go well for her. And there were so many times where I was like you don't have to be so strict with it. And it just actually really set her on a very bad path. And that's why I'm like, I don't really believe in giving out relationship advice, because I'm sure there's just different for everybody, and not everyone needs to hear something, and then what works for one might not work for another. I get that it's important to listen to things that you can connect with or relate to, but I don't know. I saw that in my friend, and it was not good. Thankfully, she like got out of that and wasn't on that path anymore, but it was not good. But I do think if I had to give one teeny piece of advice, would be like to just like a few years ago, before Chester and I started dating, I had always just been so like, I desperately want to find someone. I want to have someone in my life. And then all of a sudden I just stopped. It's like I made peace with that. And I was like, you know what? If I never meet anybody and I have to spend my whole life alone, I'll be fine. I have so many great things going on. I will be fine. And that just kind of shifted me into a different place, and it just took the pressure off. But I cannot stand here or sit here and say to you, that's all you have to do, and then you'll meet the right person. I just think it's not good advice. It's not good advice to say that. I think, yeah, it's important to focus on yourself, but it's not going to magically fix everything. I think there's so many different circumstances and things that amount to dating. Sometimes it's a bit of luck, right place, right time, and it's hard. I just don't like giving advice on it because I don't think I have the answers, and I don't think I know what's the right thing to do. Oh, a word for the year. That's a great one. I had a word for the year, but I'm trying to work out whether that was last year or did I come up with one this year? I've completely forgotten it. This is why I have to write things down. I did do in 3 videos. No. I'm getting lost of what videos I've uploaded. Hang on. How many videos ago? It was 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 videos ago. I uploaded 13 days ago a journaling video, and I created a bunch of journaling prompts for end of 2025, start of 2026. And the journaling prompt, the very first one, I think, was just like one word to summarize 2025. And the word that I wrote was disjointed. Kind of like, it's not the same thing. Obviously, we're thinking about a word to set us up for the future, but disjointed is the word that I thought for 2025 in hindsight. I don't think I've come up with a word for 2026. I don't know yet. And that's okay. I don't have to figure it out today. I can figure it out, and I can have multiple words. I think you could maybe go through like the process, and like in a month or two, maybe something changes. Then you can come up with a new word. This is a very interesting magazine. Not as lifestyle-y as I thought. Very DC centric. I mean, it's the Washingtonian. It's all about stuff around here. But not what I thought. Things to do in DC. This I will actually look at for a second. Oh no, wait, this is all like December. It's too late. I missed it. Style. This is kind of cool. It's just pictures of people, just like at events and things. It's kind of fun. Anyway, Designed by Sarah has said that the word they've chosen for the year is subtract because they're trying to simplify their life, and I like that. I think that's a good one. I don't know what mine is. I'm gonna have to think about that a little bit more. Did I find the inserts for my planner? No, I've just started making my own. I don't have my planner with me, but in my last video, I went through it briefly. I just decided to create something similar to the cloth and paper ones because I really like the simplistic minimalism design of the cloth and paper. I just don't like their layout. They have Monday to Friday on one side, and I don't like that. I want Monday to Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday notes. The ones that I currently have are boxes, like the page is then divided into like that. I don't like that. I want lines across. And I didn't like that they had this extra grid thing on their page. I didn't want that. So I've started working on it, but I ran out of ink for the printer, and so I had to print it in blue, and it's just not as like visually appealing when it's blue. I'm like, I need to see it in black, and the ink was supposed to arrive yesterday or the day before because then I was also going to print out a bunch of stuff, and then the ink never arrived, and so then here we are. I don't have ink, and I'm waiting for it. It hasn't arrived, otherwise I would have got a text message already. And I don't know. It's been delayed. So again, well, that one didn't really help me. The one. Sarah said, my mom's always said, and it's true, you meet someone when you least expect it. Meaning, go live your fabulous life and you'll never know who you will meet along the way. It's true. I mean, again, I don't want to like give advice or say things, but that's what happened to me. I just had made a point to be like, I'm not even going to think about this anymore. I'm going to live my life, and then it happened. But I know it's not always like that. It's different for everybody. I need some words. I need to start looking for words. We will see. I can't see what I'm doing. It's starting to get really dark in here, so I'm going to use my phone light for a minute. I don't know if I want any of these ones. Do you know what I'm surprised? I'm surprised my knees haven't started hurting. Usually when I'm sitting in this position, my knees start hurting. Built to last. I feel like I'm not having much luck today. I have not made much progress with all of my cutouts. There's very, very little cutouts going on. It's because I've said it once and I'll say it again, magazines are just not what they used to be. Nope. There's a lot of art in this magazine, which is actually kind of cool. I'm going to cut some out. Mostly, oh wait, this magazine was really good for words. Like here, reshaping, own image, reimagining, art making. Like very good words to cut out. What else have we got? And I wanted a piece of art just because I like to have background. So I'm going to cut these two out because they're cool. This one is cool. I'm so glad you guys are enjoying the videos and stuff. It makes me very, very happy. I'm feeling very calm right now. I mean, part of me is a little stressed because the windows are wide open. So if someone wanted to, they could just see it. And I'm like, I don't like that. I'm not a big fan. I'm like, at nighttime, the blinds have to be shut. Weirds me out. We haven't talked about honeymoon yet. I am in the process of doing a new visa, and I'm not allowed to leave the country. I have to stay here. Well, that process is, so we can't go anywhere, which I probably should have mentioned this before. Oh, hey, the moon is coming up over that building. Probably should have mentioned this before, but that also changes things because I can't leave. I have to stay here. Which is why I didn't go back to Australia for Christmas. So if I'm here just waiting for change of status and like just being stuck, it kind of changes wedding plans because I can't have a wedding anywhere other than in the US. And I'm like, I technically can't even really go to Hawaii. So it's changes things. Yes. 100% create a word vision board. If you're struggling with pictures like I am, maybe we should all just create word vision boards. I did it at the top of this one, right here at the top here, just like all these words. This is my 2022 one. This was mostly just a project of making a collage when I was really sick for 2 weeks. And I just got a bunch of fun words, kind of like positive affirmations and things. I printed some out the other day, actually. I need to fix these ones. I have planner. What's that? That's nothing. Planner, paint, the art issue, all these extra ones. But a word one would be really cool. If you can't find pictures, words, very handy. That was actually the funnest part of my entire little vision board process, was cutting out the words and just filling all of the blank space with words that just felt really positive and uplifting and just in the bud. Ooh, see, like that's a good word. This magazine does have good words. This one says next chapter, and I feel like that's a good fun thing to put on a vision board. So you can cut that one out. I'm not even sure if I've really been vision boarding that much in this thing. I feel like I've just been answering questions and chatting. Ooh, almost cut the wrong thing. But this is so satisfying. I like to cut a perfect little box around my words. I think they look the neatest, unless it's a large word where then instead of cutting a box, I could actually cut in and around the letters. And I basically, whenever I cut anything, let me see. I've got to have something in here somewhere. Where, like these ones. I'll show you something. I'm gonna have to get up close. Okay, so you can see that there's like a little white border around each of the pieces that I've cut. I tend to do that. So if there's a big word, I might cut in and around it like this, but then if it's a small word, I'll just cut the border around it. But I just think it's a fun way to do little pieces. So I like to do a little border around my words and my pictures. I have not been to Hawaii. I've never been. I would like to go, but I've heard that once you get to Hawaii, it is very expensive. So be prepared to spend money on that holiday. I'm not sure though. Haven't been, so I can't say for certain, but I've heard that it can be quite a pricey vacation. Wonder is all in these bits. No. I do prefer text when it's on the white background. I'm not a big fan if it's over something colorful, but I like this word. Well, I'm so glad that you enjoyed the live. If you are going off to bed, because I think it's like, what, 10:30 p.m. in the UK at the moment? 5 hours ahead, I think. Thanks for hanging out. I think I'll probably stay on for maybe another half an hour. I tend to do lives for like 3 hours. It's been such a long time since I've done these. But anyways, thank you for hanging out, and I hope you have a very, very good night. How am I liking having 2 YouTube channels? I'm really enjoying it because I feel like on the new channel, it's just like a complete outlet where I can just do whatever. We can talk about whatever. That's like no structure. There's no playing any type of game. It's just straight across the board. And I really like that. What do we got here? I could just get my glasses, which would make sense. It's mostly because it's dark. This is fine. What is the cost of living in DC compared to Australia? Now, I can't speak on this for certain because the last time that I lived full-time properly in Melbourne was 2020, and obviously things have changed a lot. DC is a very, very, very expensive city to live in. And I kind of hate that about it. Like, it's just very, very expensive. Again, like I said before, it's just it's a very wealthy city. There's just a lot of money here. And so if there are people who make a lot of money, then the cost of living tends to be higher because people who make a lot of money can pay for those things compared to somewhere where the average income is a lot lower, you know? It's a very, very expensive city. But I do know that the prices of things back home have increased as well. So let's see. It's hard to compare all of them, but I have the three. I have Toronto, like Melbourne, and DC, right? Toronto, I think, is worse than DC. It is so expensive. The difference, I think, between DC and Toronto is that here in DC, like apartment living and condo living is not as, what's the word, like sought after. Potentially, I could be wrong, but sought after as the way that it is in Toronto. So in Toronto, you are looking at hundreds of thousands of dollars more. Forget exchange rates. We're talking just dollar number. Apartments in Toronto are hundreds of thousands of dollars more than apartments here in DC. Why? I don't know. That's just the way it is. Like, Toronto is an insanely expensive city. You get a lot less in Toronto house-wise. I think Toronto has one of the worst housing markets in the whole world. You get a lot less in Toronto for $1.5 million than what you would get here in DC for $1.5 million. Groceries in Toronto are outrageous. Again, I don't know how much it has changed since I lived there, but when I was last there, it was getting really bad. From my last time there, I remember impossible to buy 2 liters of milk under $5 or $6. Impossible to buy spices under $5. I don't know why. Like, in Australia, in here, you can go to the supermarket and they might have like a home brand or something where you could get a little jar of spice for like $2-3. In Toronto, I never found that. Every spice shaker was very expensive. Australia has very cheap paper towel, garbage bags, toilet paper compared to Toronto and the US. That's cheaper over there. Cereal, I feel like, has gone up across the board. I know like the very large boxes back in Australia were upwards of $12-14 for a box of cereal. Here, I actually don't know what a large box is worth here, but the small boxes are on par, like $6 for a small box of cereal. Like, that's on par, dollar for dollar. If you want to go into exchange rates, if you were trying to live here on an Australian dollar, impossible. So expensive. Same with like the Canadian dollar. It's less than the US dollar. So much more expensive. But if you just compare dollar for dollar, I think Toronto would be the most expensive, possibly followed by DC, possibly Melbourne. But I can't say for sure. Things have definitely gone up and it could be quite pricey in Melbourne now. I have noticed recently, because I've done a lot of Australian clothing looking. I haven't bought anything, but I've been looking on all the websites. I'm shocked. I cannot believe a dress at Forever New is like $200+ now. Like, I remember when they were like 80. So I know that the prices of everything has just gone up everywhere, but it's insane. Like, I can't believe a large fries here at McDonald's is $5 now, or like $6 or whatever it is. I don't know. Depends where you are, I guess. Oh, Vancouver. Vancouver is just as bad as actually, I think Vancouver is worse than Toronto. I think it actually might be worse. It's hard for Canada because like if like Vancouver and Toronto are the two major cities, and so if you want to live in like a big city, you've only got 2 options. Everything else is slightly smaller. Whereas here in the US, there are so many large cities. Like the population of the Northeast Corridor, which is from DC here all the way up to Boston, is more than the entire population of Australia. So like traffic here, everything here is just crazy, and everything is just bigger. But yeah, it's hard when, if you in Canada, Toronto and Vancouver are just the biggest cities, and so they're just, their populations have expanded and exploded in the last 10, 20 years. And I guess that just drives prices up and it makes things very, very expensive. One of the things I really liked about living in Toronto was I lived right near the lake, and it was nice. And I feel like that's kind of missing in my life. I'm like, I like living by the water. Living by the water is very, very nice. The summers in Toronto were really beautiful. Like, they were mild. Like, yeah, you might get a couple days in the 30s, but it wasn't like humid. And it was just very, very pleasant weather. And then someone's going to say I am so wrong for saying this, but I felt like everybody I met in Toronto was really nice. I'm quite sure there are some very not nice people in Toronto. And I will say most of the people that I do know in Toronto are not really from Toronto, but I have heard mixed things. Like, some people, like, no, Toronto people are not friendly, but I had a very positive experience meeting people there. So I like to say that I think people in Toronto are friendly. Oh, there's an ad. I didn't know what the heck I was doing when I set this live up, because they've changed it since I last did it, and I don't know. And I don't know if I can change it. Good to know, though, that that's like a something. I like, the next time I do a live, I'll make sure the ads are unchecked or whatever it is, because I don't know what I did. I think I set at least 15 different lives ready to go before I got this one to actually work. So there may be some stuff missing or things that are a bit messed up, because I spent an hour and a half trying to figure this out, and it was very complicated. Oh, cheese. Cheese is really expensive. And you know what else has just gotten really expensive here? Butter. At the supermarket the other day for a little, it's different in Australia, the way that they package butter, but here you get 4 sticks about this big in a pack, $8. So it's $2 for a little stick, and a little stick is what, half a cup of butter. And like, we made cookies the other night, and it calls for a cup of butter, so it's $4 worth of butter just to make some cookies, which is insane. So butter has gotten very, very expensive. I don't know if anyone else has noticed that, but I noticed that like a couple weeks ago, it's just getting more and more expensive. $1.5 million houses. I'm curious about this. So when I was in Toronto a couple of months ago, we went and looked at some houses with some friends of mine, and they're kind of like, for about $1.4 million, you're getting like a townhome or like a semi-detached, like where it's like basically a house that it's like in half, and you get the basement. For the couple that we looked at, it was basement, and then like sort of a living room, a kitchen, and then maybe like a small dining room, and then you would go upstairs and you would have a bathroom and 2, maybe 3 bedrooms if they could fit it in. But like, the one place that we looked at that was 1.4 million in Toronto was, you walked in, the floor was slanted, like it wasn't like flat at all. Living room, small dining room, kitchen, quite narrow. Upstairs was 3 bedrooms. The master bedroom had this much room between the edge of the bed and the wall. I think there might have been just enough space for bedside tables. Small closet. There was another small room that didn't have a closet or anything. That I couldn't even think of like what type of square footage it was. It's smaller than the office that we have out there. Then there was another bedroom and the bathroom, and then downstairs was the basement, and the floor down there was even more slanted, and then the roof is very, very low, so you had to hunch. And then there's a small bathroom in there as well, and that was $1.4 million. And I felt like that was quite small compared to what I have seen in some of the areas in DC where you're possibly for about the same price getting like a townhome, same thing, but just physically bigger, like much, much bigger. I don't know about the square footage, but I think we should test it out. Let's go Zillow for a second. And I want to find for sale. And I want no filters. So the first one that pops up, you can get a 2-bedroom, 3-bathroom, 1,400 square foot condo. So this is going to be like oh no, that's like a small apartment building, and it's $850,000. Wait, let me go to the map. Map's better. Let's see. Let's find something for 1.4. So over in kind of like DuPont, sort of like a downtown-y sort of main area of DC, for 1.385, you can get 3 bedrooms, 4 bathrooms, 2,200 square foot townhouse. And it's like, it's a large townhouse, like multi-story large townhouse. And then unfortunately for the same price, dollar value in Toronto, you're getting significantly small. Oh, I actually think the one that was in Toronto was about 1,400, 1,200 square feet for 1.4 million. So I think, unfortunately, Toronto's housing market is just like, it's insane. And it's sad. Here you can still get like a condo, like a 1-bedroom, 1-bathroom condo, 625 square feet for 400,000. I don't think it's like that in Toronto. I think you'd be looking at like 600,000 for the same thing. It could have changed since I was last there. I'm not an expert on this. I just sometimes like to go into Zillow and have a look around at what's happening. Let's see, we'll go over here. And then when I was in Toronto, we actually went and had a look at a $2.2 million house, and that was like big. Like the basement was like full size ceiling. There was a huge like rumpus room. There was another room that they turned into like a gym. They had a decent laundry size with like a double laundry. This house had 2 laundries in it for some reason. There was another one in a mud room that was off the kitchen, but it's like a full size ceiling. And then you go upstairs, you've got like a big living room, big dining room, big kitchen upstairs again. And then you've got like a master bedroom with an ensuite, and the master bedroom is probably pretty similar size to this one. And then there was 3 other bedrooms that were like, you know what I mean? Like you could walk around the bed and you could put, but that's like almost an entire $1 million more than the other townhouse house that we looked at, where the master bedroom had this much room. So yeah, it's just, yeah, Toronto is rough. Like it's definitely crazy. Like if I click this one here, this is a $6 million house. It's 6 bedrooms, 6 bathrooms, and 6,300 square feet. And that is at the top of Georgetown, which makes sense. Georgetown's very expensive. There's an $8.5 million house, 5 bedrooms, 6 bathrooms, 4,700 square feet. Georgetown also. Then for 9.5 million, you get 8 bedrooms, 10 bathrooms, and it's 14,000 square feet. And that is on Embassy, like almost Embassy Row, which is very large houses. Are we planning on buying a house? No, not anytime soon, but it is something that we would like to do. We just don't really know where we want to live. And so we're just kind of like feeling out like what could be an option for us, but not anytime soon, but we would like to have a house. I'm thinking I would like to get something more on the smaller side. I'm just really like scared of overextending myself. Hang on. I just realized my laptop is not plugged in and charging, and I don't want it to die. I'd like to buy a house, but I don't know. Not yet. Yeah, it's so fascinating how like different places can affect house prices. Like Pittsburgh here in the US, which is like a 4 or 5 hours drive from here. It's a small city. It's kind of out of the way. Like we realized that no real freeway or highway kind of goes near Pittsburgh. It's sort of out of the way. But Pittsburgh is one of the only cities potentially in the world whose house price to what do you call it, like median like wage or whatever, has stayed at the same rate since 1969 or something. And what I mean by that is that the increase of house price and wage has been consistent together. And they're like, you can go on Zillow in Pittsburgh and there will be areas where you will find $1 million homes, but then you can also find houses for a couple $100,000. It's just so interesting how the different places, but I guess it's a job thing. If there's a place with high paying jobs in Toronto, you can get very high paying jobs. Here in DC, very high paying jobs. The demand, it all just plays into the prices of everything. But yeah, DC is very, very expensive. I still think Toronto is most expensive, DC, and then maybe Melbourne, but I am not 100% sure because I just haven't lived there. Is Ottawa that bad now? I didn't realize Ottawa had got that bad, which is the capital of Canada, by the way. I guess it's as bad as Toronto, which is just crazy. Like, that's just crazy to me. What's this one? I'm going to cut a few words out of here. Crazy, crazy, crazy. I have two questions, both at the top of my mind. I'm going to go back to one in a second. Has the rude commenter gone quietly recently? Yeah, they have. I don't know who they are or why they just had to be so negative on every video, but I haven't heard from them in a while. I have this person who I know has multiple accounts on Instagram that just kind of once a month will reply to one of my stories and just say, I hope you get cancer. Just once a month. I don't know who they are. It's all fake accounts and they've got multiple ones that they do this from. And I don't know why. I don't know what compels them to just write nothing other than, I hope you get cancer, but I refuse to open their message or acknowledge their existence. So there's that. But is that just not the most weird thing to do to someone? I mean, they're probably trying to get my attention for me to reply to them, but I don't. Like, if people are mean, I'm like, I'm not replying to you. But anyway, so that's that. Back to the housing thingy, because talking about it, one person said, as a single female with one income, I've accepted that I will be renting a 1-bedroom apartment forever. It's such like it just sucks. That's all I can say is it just sucks. Like, things have just gotten so out of hand that I think a lot of millennials and Gen Z, maybe even above, have just had to come to the realization that maybe things are not going to be the way that we thought they were. And I just, like, my spending habits have changed. My income's obviously changed. We're not quite like a one income household, but close enough. And that's a lot in DC. It's very hard being here, but it's like my spending habits have changed. And every time I look for something now, I'm like, what happened? Why is everything up $100 more than it used to be? Like, it's crazy. I'm very lucky that my little supermarket, their produce is pretty cheap. And I tend to buy stuff that looks like it's like I tend to work with produce that seems to be on sale. Like in summer, bananas were like 69 cents a pound. I'm like, perfect. I'll eat a lot of bananas. It's really cheap. But I've heard a lot of people say lately that they're like, I've had to come to accept that I'm not going to have the things that I thought I was once going to have. And I think so many people are in that boat. Like things are just not going to be the way that we were brought up thinking that they would be, you know? You could have anything and everything. We could have it all. And it's not quite like that. And it's hard and it's rough, but I don't know. I don't have the answers. I don't have the solutions. I don't know anything other than it just feels really unfair. And I hate hearing stories about it, but everybody seems to be talking about it that I know of. And then very rarely I'll see people that'll just seem to be thriving. And I'm like, I love that for you. Like, I'm so glad that you're thriving. But yeah, it's not fair. And I'm just hoping it doesn't get worse because I don't know. I'm like convinced in the last couple of months, things have just really, really gone crazy. Like I said, all the clothing stuff that I've been looking at in Australia, speaking of, I'm curious. What are cotton on prices like now in Australia? That's always a good indicator. Wait. This is the US cotton on, and jeans are $80. Also, have you noticed that whenever anything is on sale, nothing is ever on sale for like $10 anymore? I feel like a couple of years ago, you could go into like a discount. Like I went to DSW a couple weeks ago, and not one pair of shoes was under $25. And I was like, so nobody does any like insane discounts anymore when everything's like going out of stock? I just thought that was really interesting. That's something else I've noticed. Okay. I don't know how to get to I want to get to the Australian version. How do I do that? Down here. Let's go to the Australian site. Dresses. Yep. It's expensive. Like some of these dresses are $80 Australian for a dress now, which is crazy. It's so crazy. Oh yeah, the quality of clothing and stuff is terrible. What brand am I thinking of? Like everything, like the quality has gone down, the prices have gone up, and it's so frustrating. In DC supermarkets, do they have 2 for whatever amount in order to get a special? I know in Australia they do it all the time. Everything is buy 2, get like, you know, whatever discount or whatever. Sometimes I don't see it as much here, but they do have it sometimes. The thing I find that they do here in supermarkets is to sign you up to their like shoppers program, and that's how you get discounts. I feel like Woolworths kind of started doing that, but it's, do you have your card? You got to scan your card to get the discounts, and then you end up signing up to every single thing, and then they have all of your data and your information, and that's all they really care about. They're just mining you for information, and it's like, can we please just like do a very simple transaction here, and I can give you some money so I can feed myself? That's a very loud fire truck. That is a really lengthy fire truck. Very noisy. Am I planning on doing a low buy challenge? I've like dialed back my spending significantly in the last year. Everything that I've purchased mostly in the last year has always been like I have no furniture in the entryway, I'm gonna buy some furniture. I have like I want to do a desk project, so I'll buy some paint. Most stuff, I wouldn't say it's essential because nothing I have is absolutely essential. As long as I have a roof over my head and I'm feeding myself, that's kind of the essentials. So the stuff that I bought over the last year isn't essential, but I have dialed it back significantly to we don't really go out anymore. Like back in 2022, I would go out for dinner every week, which is, in hindsight, I'm like, why did I waste my money? But it's so expensive to eat out that we don't eat out anymore. We cook so much at home. And it's actually been really fun. Like we've gotten really, really creative, and I do so much more at home. And yeah, I've just really dialed back a lot of my spending. I feel like the last 6 months have been, let's get everything sort of decorated and set up. And now that pretty much everything's set up, I'm like, it'd be nice to have a mirror in front of my desk, but can I justify spending $150 on a mirror right now that I kind of don't need because I have a mirror there and I have a little mirror there and I have a mirror in the bathroom and there's another mirror out there? Like, do you know what I mean? It'd be nice to fill the space, but it's not an essential thing. And so I'm just kind of sitting back and waiting for sales to pop up. I was looking at the Australian clothing websites because I was waiting to see if they had any sales that I could buy the off-season stuff. Do you know what I mean? Like I could buy the summer stuff in the next 2 months or so as it goes on really insane sale in Australia, and then just ship it to my mom's and then she could send it over to me. But then I'm also like, I don't need anything. I really don't. So I'm not going to set myself a challenge, but my spending habits have just changed, mostly because my income has changed and life has just gotten more expensive and your money does not go as far as it used to, you know? So I just, made changes. I just think I need to be better with like little things. It's really funny. Like I will go a couple weeks without buying anything off Amazon, which I did in December. And then all of a sudden it's like, I need new lint rollers because the lint roller ran out and the cart is really dirty. And then, we need some garbage bags and we need just all these annoying things. And then the next thing I know, I've got 10 packages downstairs and I'm like, I feel like looks insane. But then I'm also like, some of this stuff is like, I needed conditioner. So I had to buy new conditioner. I had no mascara. So I had to buy mascara. I had to buy face moisturizer because I ran out of that, and then garbage bags, lint rollers, just stuff like that, like just replacing products that had run out. And that's sort of like I then sort of go, oh my god, that's I feel guilty, but then I'm like, these kind of essentials, like I kind of need conditioner. So then that's sort of where my spending is right now. I'm like, I don't need anything, I'm not buying anything, and then bam, I'll buy a bunch of stuff off Amazon because I need refills of things. I haven't tried couponing. I did end up having the Harris Teeter app because where I used to live was right near Harris Teeter, but my app membership number never quite worked, and it just got really annoying every time trying to scan the thing. And I'm like, I don't know if I have the ability to go through the app and be like, okay, here's this coupon and stuff and like redeem it all that way. Sometimes I did, but it was like a lot of effort. What would I say is the worst thing about DC? I don't like the weather spectrum here. I don't like that in the middle of summer, it is days and days and days of 36 degrees Celsius, which is like 90s Fahrenheit, humid, disgusting. Like, I've never really lived in humid weather before, and I'm like, I don't think it's for me. Like, it's really bad. And then the flip to that is you're getting these cold, like, winter's mild here compared to, say, Toronto, but it's cold. And then it gets kind of drier, and then you're like, I need to lather myself in head to toe for moisturize. Like, it's like both ends of the spectrum, and I'm not used to living somewhere that has such like a big swing in weather, and I kind of hate it. I really don't like it. Toronto, the summers are milder, and then the winters are really like cold, but you're in this range. And then in Melbourne, your summers are hot, but your winter's not as cold, and you're in this range. But here in DC, you have the whole weather range, and it's kind of annoying. And I don't like it. I'm not a big fan of it. I'm so glad to have like girly hangout time as well. This has been fun. I'm just cutting bits and things out of my magazine. I might do another live in the coming days because I know some people, because of the time zones, weren't able to make this one. I feel like my lips are getting dry as I talk about dry weather. It's also 6 p.m. I've been here for 3 hours, and we're going to have dinner soon, and I will go very shortly, but I will wrap up some of these last questions. I am so sorry that you were rejected by that hot bartender. How dare he? He does not know what he is missing out on. So I'm sorry that happened, but shake it off. You'll be fine. He's just a guy. He's just a guy. Doesn't matter. Oh, I'm so glad that some of you are using the budget planners. Like, I have Google Sheets budget planners. It's just a good way to track. I made one for Chester's mom just because, like, we track her finances, and it just I kind of customized it to her thing. I've made a different one for my own tax stuff that I just find really helpful. That's a bit different to that one that has like different categories and things, but I keep making them, and I just find them very handy. Oh my God. Low 40 Celsius next week in Victoria. So hot. I miss dry summers though. I really do. I miss dry heat. Like, we were in Arizona this year, and it was like amazing. I'm like, oh, I don't care if it's 40 degrees. I love dry heat. And then I think it was pretty humid when I was in Texas, but that's only because it rained a lot. Oh, I'm so glad you guys are enjoying it. It's late for some of you guys in Denmark and Bulgaria. You guys are staying up late, but it is Friday night, which is kind of why I decided to do it, because I was like, it's Friday night, and it's also Saturday morning in Australia and Friday evening for here in the US. So I was like, I feel like this is a good time where I can almost reach like everybody, I guess, probably across like Western Asia, not so much. It's sort of like the off time there. This is really pretty. Oh my God, that's in Maine, and it looks just like back home. That's cool. I've never been to Maine, but I would love to go. Oh, Germany as well. I still have so much of Europe to travel. I've never been to. I've never been to Germany. Never been to Denmark. Never been to Bulgaria. Do you know, I actually have quite a number of German followers. Like, I can look at the demographics of where everybody's from. Number one is the US. Second, I think, is Australia. Third might actually be Germany. Who wants to? I'm going to look at it right now. It's so interesting. I've always had like a large number of German followers. Let's have a look. Wait, how do I go to analytics, audience? This will tell me the majority of people here are aged 25 to 34. Actually, it's almost exactly the same percentage. We're basically all 25 to 44 is like the main. Then 45 to 54, then 55 to 64, then 65 plus, and then there's a small percentage of teenagers and young 20-year-old adults, but most of us are sort of up. And then majority are female, and largest is United States, followed by Australia, followed by the United Kingdom at 5.6%, and then Germany, then Canada, then India, France, Poland, Mexico, Turkey. Is that 10? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. So that's like the last 28 days. If we go last 90 days, it might change a little. Like a little bit, but not really. What about last 365 days? Canada. Germany's still, like, Germany and the UK are about the same. And then Canada, India, France, Netherlands, Spain, and Turkey. So yeah, that's like the top. So isn't that like so interesting? Like seeing where everybody's from, I find it so fascinating. And then I think it's different again on Instagram. Like if I go to Instagram, I think it's different. I think Australia is the top on Instagram, and it's just this like information is just so interesting to me. Let's see. Basically same age percentage, like we're all sort of the same age on Instagram as well. And then, wait, where do I get? The biggest, like the cities are Melbourne, Sydney, Brisbane, Perth, and Adelaide. So Australia, followed by the US, UK, Canada, and Germany. It's like all the same. So like, so fascinating. I'm not sure about Uruguay, but I know if I do it on my desktop analytics, I can actually see every country. I think it ranks all of them. So it's so cool. Very cool. Oh, hi, Manistical. It's so good to see you. I hope you're doing well and you're like feeling well today. I chat to so many people on Instagram, and if I don't reply, it's just because like there's a lot of messages, and I'll take a couple days a week to sit down and like reply. But I love it. I think it's so great. I'm like having so many different conversations and like hearing about like what you guys are up to and what you're doing. It's like so interesting to me, and I love it. So cool. I love seeing where everybody's from. Yeah, I think I might come back for another vision board. I don't feel like I did a lot today. I knew I wasn't going to stick anything down because I don't stick anything down until I start getting all of the pictures. But oh no, I lost some words then. I got some words, some little ones and some big ones of all different sizes. I got some like artsy pictures to sort of do as background. This one's like a planner one that I can do as a background. Some flower pictures, some more planner related things. Like this one, I'm just going to cut this out actually while I'm talking to you. Just all the things that I want to focus on. Oh, I didn't cut that very straight. So I made a start. I don't feel like I made a lot of progress, but I feel like we're also just catching up and just chatting about like life, the universe, and everything. And I will probably do more. I will do more because I will do more. I might not have time to do anything tomorrow. Wait, what is tomorrow? Tomorrow's Saturday. I just forgot. I think we're gonna go to Costco tomorrow because we haven't been for a while. And then we're having like a brunch lunch with some friends. And then I think in the afternoon, I'm going to be doing some more for the next video that I'm going to be putting up, like more just like New Year cleaning, decluttering, prepping, things like that. So I probably won't have a chance to be able to work on this again for a little while, but we can come back and do it again. No, Chester's in the kitchen. I think he's making dinner because I told him that I'd be done at 5, but it's now 6. But I did say to him, I'm like, I will probably be on for 3 hours. So I told him aim for 6. So I think he's making dinner, and he may text me or come knock on the door to be like, dinner's ready. So I should probably go and like at least maybe help him with whatever's left to do. But this was fun. I hope you guys enjoyed hanging out. I just have to figure out the settings. I'm sorry if anybody got too many ads. I didn't realize that they had mid-roll ads on. I didn't know that was a thing. The camera thankfully worked. I don't know. I played around with it a lot. It took me a while to get this set up. That's why I was late. I was like 5-10 minutes late because I was like, I don't know how to do this. It's different. I downloaded 2 types of software, but didn't work out, and apparently I didn't need in the end. So very, very confusing. But I am going to probably pack up and head off now, but I think we can come back in a couple of days and redo this. I will have another video either Sunday or Monday. Oh, there's another pair of scissors. Sunday or Monday, I don't know, whatever I manage to get out. And then, yeah, I think I'll see you then. So I hope you have a fabulous, fabulous evening, and that this was maybe somewhat more productive for you than it was for me. I got a little bit done. It's fine. It's a work in progress. I just have to decide what one we're going to do it on. Do I want to go big canvas, medium, small, or paper, which is also a possibility. But look at that. We're all packed up. I'm going to put this on the floor. It's been sitting on the floor under the window over there. And it'll just stay there until I complete the project. So anyway, now I have to figure out how to end this. What do I do? How do I end a live? I don't even know what I'm doing. Okay, so anyway, I'm going to leave it here. I hope you have a fabulous day or night wherever you are, and I will see you very, very soon. Bye.